5 Live Sport.
The Premier League.
Everton take on Man United.
It's Chelsea-Arsenal from 12:45, first half on Sports Extra. We'll have the second half live here and lots of updates in the first half as well. Manchester City-Wolves at 3 o'clock, commentary from John Murray and Jimmy Armfield. But Everton-Manchester United now with Pat Nevin, with Alan Green and Conor McNamara.
Thanks very much, Mark. Just about ready to get underway here. Both teams out on the field under what are quite dark skies here on Merseyside. It's cloudy, it's overcast, and despite a 12 noon kickoff, we've got the floodlights on full blast. I think it's a sign of winter coming. Temperatures aren't too cold though, not much breeze about. It's mercifully dry and we're looking forward to a good game of football. Mark Halsey is the referee. Let me give you the teams in full. Everton have got Tim Howard in goal. It's a back four of Tony Hibbert, Phil Jagielka, John Heitinga and Leighton Baines. In midfield, Seamus Coleman on the right-hand side, Diniar Bilialetdinov on the left, with Leon Osman, Jack Rodwell and Marouane Fellaini in the centre. There's no Tim Cahill today. Louis Saha plays against his former club up front, and he scored against another of his former clubs last weekend against Fulham. The Manchester United team, David De Gea is the goalkeeper. It's a back four of Phil Jones at right back, Nemanja Vidic and Johnny Evans in the centre. Evans playing today. He was sent off against Manchester City last weekend, but he served his suspension against Aldershot in the Carling Cup. Patrice Evra is the left back. Three in the middle of midfield, Fletcher, Cleverley and Park, with Welbeck, Hernandez and Rooney in attacking positions. It'll be interesting, Pat, to see exactly what formation. Will it be 4-3-3? Will it be something a bit more complicated for Manchester United?
I suspect 4-2-3-1 for Man United. I expect Welbeck to go wide one side on the left, probably Park wide on the right, Rooney just behind Hernandez. But it's still an attack-minded lineup. Good to see Cleverley back as well, real classy player. Could have a big impact today. But talking to lots of Everton fans and looking what they've gone through recently, there are a few concerned Evertonians today. They've not made that many changes simply because they can't.
Tom Cleverley was injured against Bolton in September, and I was here at Goodison Park on Wednesday night when Everton had to play 120 minutes against Chelsea on the way out of the Carling Cup, and a lot of those Everton players involved from the start tonight. I did ask David Moyes after the game. I said, will playing extra time make it more difficult Saturday lunchtime against Manchester United? He said no, it'll be easy to play 90 after 120. Here's Coleman on the attack for Everton, into the penalty area right hand side, and a shot off his less favoured left boot is straight at De Gea, but the first attempt on target for Everton.
Yeah, very, very good play there by Coleman. Very impressed with him as a player, but Johnny Evans once again, caught out of position there. Raised a few eyebrows, him actually starting today, but certainly caught out of position again.
Welbeck tries to come down the left for Manchester United. He's run the ball out of play.
I think they are playing similar to the system that I suggested there. I mean, Welbeck standing on the left. I would have been really surprised had two started up for Manchester United, because against Man City, the game I was at, they played 4-4-2 with two wingers, and they were just far too open in the midfield. And well, obviously, everyone knows what happened, so it would have been a shock to me had Manchester United started that way today.
Manchester United were held to a draw here last season. They're not won at Goodison since 2007. Vidic's possession of the back. Dramatic end to the game last year when Manchester United were leading 3-1 in the 89th minute, and it ended up 3-3, two late goals in stoppage time, just as Everton got last weekend against Fulham. Rooney gets his first touch to the near touchline to Welbeck, who started on the left wing. Back infield to Rooney, a low ball to the foot of Park. Welbeck gives it to Cleverley. Now it's picked up by Hernandez. This is all just outside the Everton penalty area. Cleverley does well to wriggle out of a tight space and feeds Evra on the near touchline, level with the corner angle of the penalty area. 0-0 here at Goodison Park. Good turn by Welbeck into the penalty area, runs into Jagielka, pulls back across, shot on target by Park, and it's saved by Tim Howard, and we've now had chances at both ends.
Neat passing movements there from Manchester United. Nothing being hit long, obviously not necessarily the best thing to do with just Chicharito or Hernandez up front, but clever play in the midfield. Not surprised Cleverley was in the middle of it all.
Yeah, that was nice sort of one-touch football from Manchester United in around the Everton penalty area as Evans rolls the ball back to De Gea, and he's not the most popular figure at the moment, Johnny Evans, even with his own fans. De Gea wearing the yellow goalkeeping jersey clears the ball up over the halfway line, and the Everton fans think that Danny Welbeck was leaning in over the shoulders of Hibbert, but play on, says the referee, and the ball is back to Tim Howard. Did you see the Jan Mucha error during the week, Pat Nevin, the Everton standing goalkeeper?
I saw it through my fingers. I couldn't believe it. But obviously it's a tough one for a goalkeeper to come in. They don't get many opportunities and they want to do the best.
Here comes Baines for Everton, down the left-hand side. He's got around Park, rolls it short to Rodwell, outside the penalty area, central location. Now to Fellaini, to the near side, Everton's right, and Tony Hibbert tries to go around Welbeck, poor pass towards Coleman. It'll be picked up by Rodwell, and Everton remain on the attack. Rodwell gets it to Coleman, right-hand side of midfield, early ball in, Fellaini gets his head on it, it's on target as well, but it's saved by De Gea, didn't quite have the power on it to trouble the Spanish goalkeeper.
Yeah, but it's quite an open game, isn't it? It's end-to-end, good start, good half chances and chances for both teams, and Everton aren't going to come to this and sit back. I think they're going to have a bit of a go as much as they can. Intriguingly for Manchester United, a lot of the play early on up this left-hand side, I think they feel as if Welbeck, if he can get some pace up against Hibbert, can get round there and cause some damage.
3.5 minutes played at Goodison Park. Billy Aletinov runs towards Fletcher. He's just outside the D of the penalty area. Coleman available right-hand side. One touch to control, one touch to cross, and it comes off the head of Evra and out for a corner. Everton's first corner on the right-hand side.
We've been here a few early games over the last couple of years, and quite often it starts quietly, and you wonder if the fans are really up for it. I'll tell you what, just because of a few chances early on, it's been a nice zippy start from both sides. They are up for it today, and it doesn't feel like one of those typical, midday kickoffs where everyone's a bit, got a morning head on, as it were.
Well, it's a good start, this, and Baines prepares to take the corner right-hand side. Raises his right arm as a signal, but it's a poor corner headed away at the front post by Welbeck and picked up by Hernandez with the white boots. Gives it into Cleverly. Cleverly's given the ball away just outside his own box to Osman. Cleverly desperately trying to get back and make a challenge. Osman gets the cross into the box. Evra and Evans collide with each other, and they've given it to Hibbert, and Everton can still remain on the attack. Hibbert back into Rodwell. Right-footed ball into the penalty area. No one's made a gamble on this, and it's easy for Vidic to just chest the ball down, and picked up by De Gea, the goalkeeper. Everton 0, Manchester United 0. Chelsea against Arsenal coming up later on. First half of that game available on our sister station 5 Live Sports Extra. We'll have second half from Stamford Bridge here on 5 Live once things have come to a conclusion here at Goodison Park. Played by Evans into midfield to a deep-lying Wayne Rooney. And there's a ball towards Hernandez, who is offside. It was a good pass from Rooney.
It was very, very close indeed. And it kind of underlines one of the things that we're going to see, I think, throughout this game. Distan is a big, big miss for Everton. Massive pace, good reader of the game as well. And Heitinger, pace-wise, up against Hernandez. There's only one winner. If it's a foot race between them two, Hernandez will get away and he will get a chance and goal. So it's up to them to play it very, very well. And a big, big job for Rodwell there to make sure he gives a little bit of cover in front of his two centre-backs today. Should
mention, by the way, on the substitutes bench, Everton have got James McFadden, who's back at the club. He's had his injury problems. He's not played much football in recent seasons, but David Moyes sees him as a little rejuvenation project, if you like. It's interesting he's on the bench in the programme during the week in the Carling Cup. They said that he was still 2 or 3 weeks away from making an appearance for the first team. Here is Fletcher in the middle of midfield for Manchester United. Red jerseys, black shorts, white socks today. And Welbeck gives it short to Fletcher once again, and then across the halfway line. That's a dicey enough pass towards Phil Jones, and it's intercepted by Billy Aletinov, who gets his head on it, and he won't hold on to possession. But Manchester United are back midway inside their own half. And it's played by Vidic out of defence, who's had a tightly cropped hairdo as Nemanja Vidic. Osman battles in hard and wins it in midfield for Everton. Gets applause from the fans as well. Hibbert looks to return a pass to Osman. He was just outside the penalty area. Can't get a touch on it. It carries through. And David De Gea has possession, and it's Everton 0, Manchester United 0. 7 minutes played here at Goodison Park.
It's fairly frantic, but there's some good play, some good passing movement, but my concerns would be for Everton, even though they've actually started fairly well. But if Rooney and Cleverly get on the ball together, and get a little bit of space in that midfield, which they will get at some point, I think those two could have a fantastic understanding together. So far, Everton have kept it very, very tight. When they lose the ball, they get everyone, behind the ball, and they snap into the tackles. But eventually, at some point in this game, there will be a little bit of space for those two players that I mentioned.
Everton could be up to 7th in the table by the time this game finishes. They need to win by a couple of goals to move ahead of Arsenal. And if Manchester United win here, they'll be back to within 2 points of Manchester City, who play in our 3 o'clock commentary against Wolves later on today. What Manchester United don't want to do, Pat, even at this early stage with 28 games to play after today, they don't want to lose today and risk 8 points behind Manchester City by the end of the
8 points and the goal difference. The goal difference is actually spectacular, as we know, for Manchester City just now. So, the league isn't won at this time of the year, but as many people have said before, it can be lost at this time of the year.
Yes. Baines in defence for Everton gives a good ball to Billy Aletinov, and then he turns too wide around Jones, and the ball goes out for a throw into Manchester United, taken by Phil Jones into Park, and Park loses possession. He was outnumbered by Fellaini and Baines and Billy Aletinov, and typical of Park, he battles closest down the space and forces it out for an Everton throw.
I think he's the least surprising player to be on the pitch today for Manchester United, and the fact that they were thrown to shreds in midfield against Manchester City. I mean, when that happens, they call for Park. They do it every single time, and he always does a great job for United.
Only his 3rd start of the season in the Premier League for Ji-sung Park this afternoon. Hibbert has possession for Everton. Just down underneath us, black and yellow boots on the halfway line. David Moyes stands with his hands in his pockets, a warm coat over his shoulders. This is Heitinga to Baines on the far side. Park runs over to close him down. It's back into the Dutchman, and Everton holding on to possession inside their own half. Everton 0, Manchester United 0 on 5 Live. This is Fellaini now on the halfway line. Manchester United bringing everyone except Hernandez back behind the ball. Fletcher slides in, doesn't make connection near the centre circle. It's Fellaini to Hibbert on the near side. Coleman's made a run down the right. Saha's come short. That's a good tackle by Johnny Evans. And Manchester United regain possession. This is Cleverley up towards Park. Oh, it's going to fall for Hernandez here. Jagielka recovers and sweeps in behind the Mexican and pushes the ball back to the goalkeeper.
That's fabulous play by Jagielka, wasn't it? He really had to read that quickly. And we know that Jagielka's got good pace as well, and he got in there because there was just a little sniff there from Hernandez. It's a little chance, but he just couldn't take advantage of it because of the pace, but also because of the ability for Jagielka to read the game. The way Manchester United have settled down now, they're playing much more a 4-1-4-1. Fletcher, the deep lying midfielder, and that's given a little bit of protection to
Rooney
centre-backs.
wins the ball back in midfield, plays a 1-2 with Hernandez. Now Rooney scoops one over the top, well back into the penalty area, left-hand side. Appeals from the Everton fans that he handled it. Play on, says the referee. Evra comes in support. Coleman doesn't make the block. Jagielka clears it away. Manchester United have a throw down the left.
Just a wee moment there. That was a chance where saying when the space opens up, when Rooney gets a little bit of space and he works with Cleverley, they will do something out. They will make the right passes.
That's the voice of Pat Nevin, former Everton player, watching this game with us here on 5 Live. Evra, left-hand side, crossing position, takes a block. Oh, Hernandez, first time, comes up. Jagielka, and the linesman's flag is raised to the far side anyway.
Yeah, but certainly have to applaud Heitinga. His positioning was very good there again. Notice the danger, front post. I mean, he was in front of the front post, Hernandez, but and it would have been a special strike, but he's capable of that. Hernandez got in the back and stopped the danger, even though it was offside.
So this is Jagielka at the back for Everton, and he sent a long ball straight down the centre. Saha sort of stumbled under his own feet as he chased. Evans wins it in the air, and then there's a collision between Evra and Coleman on the edge of the box, and play on, says the referee, as Cleverley picks out a lovely ball to the far side to Phil Jones. Back into midfield now for Manchester United. Fletcher, a short ball to Evra. Now Rooney, who's very deep in midfield, sends it high and hopefully towards the far side. Chested down by Park. Not a good pass. Intercepted by Rodwell. And Everton regain possession. 0-0. This is Baines at left back. Up to Billy Aletinov. To Baines again. Down that left side to Osman. He gets it back to Billy Aletinov again. Everton's passing crisp at the moment. This is Baines once more. Park goes to close him down, and he's done very well, Park. And that goes out for another throw into Everton.
Settled down a little bit in the last 4 or 5 minutes or so. I think the players know where each other's system is set up just now. So because they understand the systems they're set up against, it's led to a little bit more of a stalemate than we've seen in the first 5 or 6 minutes.
Lovely piece of skill there from Baines to flick the ball away from Cleverley and collect it at the other side. Everton come down the middle with the Saha, and then back, and Fellaini has it now near the halfway line, up towards Coleman, with Welbeck snapping at his heels. Coleman gives it to Rodwell across midfield to Baines on the left-hand side. Everton playing from left to right as we look down here at the Goodison pitch. They're attacking the Park end, and Billy Electinov has lost possession to Phil Jones. Rooney picks it up in the centre circle. Welbeck's made a good run ahead of him. Rooney, though, closed down by Fellaini, and Manchester United get it back on the halfway line with Fletcher. Quickly to Rooney again, and boos for every touch for Wayne Rooney here on his return to Goodison Park. Played forward by Evra towards Welbeck, and he's asked a lot with the return pass. Hibbert makes the interception, and he takes the safety first option, puts it out for a throw-in for Manchester United down the left.
Fairly muted boos for Wayne Rooney on this occasion. It's calming down. How many years has it taken to calm down a wee bit?
I think he's done a bit of a PR offensive lately. I remember the recent Merseyside derby, he tweeted that he wished his good luck to the blue side of Merseyside. But it'll take a while to turn them all around. This is Fletcher's pass up towards Park, and it's been held up. Fellaini's done well, and Coleman now clears it away high up towards the halfway line. Commanding header won by Vidic. Now the Everton fans feel that Vidic came in off his feet over the top of Osman. Referee Mark Halsey was close to that. He thought it was a fair challenge.
In modern parlance, I think you can say that was fairly reckless, yes, the way he came over the top of the player, but referee said play on.
And Rooney has it, and it's to Jones on the far side, back into Fletcher in midfield, just drags it back under his studs. A short ball to Welbeck. Everton doing well at closing down the options. Let's see what Evra can do down the left-hand side. Comes infield around Fellaini. Oh, that pass was intended for Cleverley, but Hernandez stuck out a boot and intercepted it, and it didn't work out well for Manchester United at all. Now this is Tom Cleverley in midfield. Jones picks out Rooney midway inside the Everton half. Hernandez went early again. He might have been offside, but the cushioned header back from Jagielka to the goalkeeper. It didn't get through to the Mexican anyway.
If Manchester United are going to break through and get a chance to get a goal, you suspect that it's going to be that line at the back. I mean, that's 3 times in a row that Hernandez has tried to sneak along the line and make a darting run, and Welbeck's capable of doing the same.
Here comes Coleman through the middle this time for Everton, and he'll pass it into space for Leighton Baines' left-hand side, up towards Billy Electinov, infield to Osman. Good early passing this from Everton. Osman to Billy Electinov, and across now to Hibbert. Quarter angle of the penalty area, right-hand side. The cross takes a deflection. De Gea called it. Evans ducked, and it ends up in the arms of the goalkeeper.
A little bit of a shame. Everton have got in very good positions, particularly down this right-hand side, but the quality of crossing, when it's been Coleman, it's been not too bad, but when it's been Hibbert, which it more often has been, it hasn't been good at all.
Quarter of an hour played on this Saturday lunchtime on 5 Live. No goals between Everton and Manchester United, and Park has given it away on the edge of the Everton box here, well intercepted and cleared away by Heitinger, and one back in the, what's that for now? Linesman's flag raised. Well, that's a very late. I mean, Everton had cleared the ball away. It was all the way up to the halfway line, and then Mark Halsey decided he was going to give. Maybe he thought Everton weren't going to get a fair advantage on that. Aberdeen against Rangers also started at 12. Let's go to Pittodrie, Juliet Farrington.
And this one being played with some pace as well. End to end, it's 0-0, intense atmosphere, but a decent start by Aberdeen. Rob Milson going for goal very early on, causing all sorts of problems. His shot, though, just missed to the left of goal. Best chance falling, though, to Arneson, who let rip from distance just a couple of moments ago, forcing Alan McGregor to make the first save of the game, and it was a good one as well. Aberdeen 0, Rangers 0.
Thanks very much, Juliet. Celtic play Hibs at 3 o'clock. Jagielka heads away from inside the Everton penalty area. Cleverley finds Rooney, shooting position. Oh, the referee got in his way. Rooney tried to flick it outside of the boot, and he turns and he gives a word to Mark Halsey, who, to be fair, tried to do a jump out of Wayne Rooney's path, but he definitely impeded the striker there and denied him a clear shot at goal.
Yeah, he definitely got in the way there, and referees hate that when they do that, because that's one of the main parts of their training, which I've never fully understood the concept of. They always seem to manage to be out of the way of the ball, but on that occasion he was standing in the D, which is not a place you often see a referee. They usually play in a diagonal across the park, and Renee could get past most of the defenders, but not Mark Halsey.
Unusually, for an early kick-off at a Saturday, this game is not being televised. The one at Stamford Bridge is. So here on 5 Live, the place to keep in touch with Everton 0, Manchester United 0. 17 minutes played on the clock. Seamus Coleman has had a chance for Everton, a shot straight at the goalkeeper. Billy Electinov has had a header, and Hernandez just denied by Heitinger with a good effort for Manchester United. Those are the best chances so far.
Yeah, and that was the information as well, so I'm going to put you on the spot here.
There we go.
Why is it an early kick-off then if it's not for TV?
I believe it's the police, because there's been quite a bit of trouble over the years between the fans of Manchester United and Everton. We've had trouble outside the ground before and after kick-off, and I think they wanted everyone in nice and early here and keep it under control. That is my understanding.
That's a very, very good answer.
Thank you very much. 0-0 it remains, and Baines just shepherds the ball out of play on the far side. And Pat, Everton have done quite well here against Manchester United early stage.
Yeah, I think they have started lively. I mean, you don't get anything else than that from teams that are put out by David Moyes. I mean, the players will be organised, the structure will be pretty good, the effort will be there, the work rate will be there, but the problem, you do worry about Everton if they do lose a goal and they go a goal behind, because they have to change their system, and that's tough.
Rooney to Hernandez on the edge of the penalty area, and he's been well surrounded by Everton players. They're really ganging up on Hernandez every time he gets the ball. Evra picks up the loose clearance and he'll attack, veering in from the left wing. He's got Cleverley further outside him. Cleverley goes around Hibbert, tries to run into a more central location. Nice play. Welbeck back out to Evra, who's got time. Oh, brilliant cross, must be a goal. Hernandez puts it in. There's no linesman's flag, and Manchester United have taken the lead after 18 minutes at Goodison. Now Everton are appealing that there was a push in the box in the build-up to that, but very nice play from Manchester United to create the space for Evra left-hand side, and Hernandez was not going to miss from 3 yards out. Everton 0, Manchester United 1.
Yeah, and it's not a great surprise really. It's the man Hernandez that actually takes a chance. There certainly was complaints from the Everton side there about this push here in the middle.
Rooney on Heitinga, I think.
Yeah, I'm not convinced Heitinga was going to get to be honest. I think it may well have been beyond him. Yeah, he's never going to get that, to be fair. There may have been a push, but he was never going to get that. And no marking at all in the middle there, and that's the thing about Hernandez. He's a great, classic, old-fashioned striker. He will get into the place where he can score a goal, and he'll go to a place where defenders aren't. He'll do it time and time again, and eventually a ball will land at him. That was possibly one of the better moves from Manchester United during this game. Really zippy, really quick, involved 5 or 6 players, and I think less than a minute before I'd said the problem for Everton is if they go a goal down, can they change it? Can they adapt? Can they do something different? And I'm just not convinced. They've got a major problem, Everton. Louis Saha plays up front as a lone striker. He's not very good at holding a ball up. That's a big problem if you're a lone striker and if you're playing with a lone striker.
That's the pattern of the Manchester United goal. Cleverley gave it to Welbeck, gave it to Evra, gave it to Hernandez. It all happened in the flash of an eye. It was very, very impressive stuff. Howard comes out of his penalty area and he clears it out of play, and Manchester United, who have the lead, and now will also have a throw-in down the left-hand side. Just to clarify on the push, Rooney was sort of jumping forward like he was trying to go for a diving header. Does collide with Jagielka. It was. Both players were going for the ball, and I really think it would be harsh to disallow the goal for saying that there was foul play.
I don't think they could have got the ball either. I think the ball
both were diving for the ball, and neither got it. Yeah. And Fellaini here clears the ball away for Everton. 1-0 down here at home to Manchester United, coming into this on the back of their heaviest ever Premier League defeat against Manchester City last weekend. Park has possession, gives it to Rooney in the centre circle. Park once again, cleverly. A touch on it by Jagielka, but Everton won't hold on to the ball. And this now is Welbeck veering in field, gives it to Park, back to Cleverley. It's nice passing, but once again, too many Everton defenders back there. Billy Elettinov, he's dillied and dallied. He's beaten to the ball by Jones. Chance for Manchester United to counter-attack. Hernandez, back to Rooney. Everton get their defence back in order. Now this is Cleverley, bit of space in midfield to Fletcher on his right-hand side, to Jones over on the right, up from full-back. Nice exchange of passes between Jones and Fletcher, and now Hernandez gets it with his back to goal. Lovely layoff to Welbeck, tried the shot, blocked away by Jagielka, and Everton can try and build it from deep, but they are under pressure at the moment.
Yeah, it's difficult for them because they're getting tackled all over the place.
Billy Elettinov's lost the ball.
No, I think the referee's got that right. No, the referee's got that right.
In. Park went to ground, and referee says no free kick, and Pat Nevin reckons that's the right call.
Yeah, he's nailed it. Absolutely spot on there. I think Park went 2 or 3 paces past and then threw himself to the ground. Yeah, well, maybe 1 pace past. I don't think it was a dive. I think he got out of the way of the tackle, and because he got out of the way of the tackle, he fell down. So I think the referee's just about right in that one.
21 minutes played. Manchester United leading here at Goodison Park thanks to Javier Hernandez's goal. And this is Welbeck to Evra, and he might fancy a shot here, and it blocks away off the shins of Hibbert. And Hibbert actually claiming that went off Evra again on its way out of play, but the referee doesn't agree. He gives the throw in to Manchester United. And it's already back in play, and Cleverley back to Evans, and Johnny Evans did win a very good tackle in the build-up to the goal to set Manchester United on their way. Here comes Rooney, 15 yards outside the penalty area, and that's got out of play on the far side. He thought Jones was making a run. He didn't look up, Wayne Rooney, and the ball just went into space and out of play.
But, for the first 10 minutes of the game, it was total control. I think, well, not total, but good control from Everton. But a quarter of the way through the game now, to be honest, I think Manchester United are in total control.
And to talk you through the second quarter of the game, Alan Green.
Normal service resumed. This is very, very easy for the champions. Everton aren't showing anything in attack whatsoever, aside from that opening opportunity in the first minute for Coleman. Nothing.
A little flurry, particularly down the right-hand side, but I think it's a lot to do with Zaha. You know, he's a goal scorer, that's it. He'll try and get behind, that's it. But you can't build attacks around somebody who doesn't hold the ball up.
Yeah, they're badly missing Cahill, who would have been fairly adequate support, you'd have thought, for the Frenchman. Manchester United leading by a 1-0. I personally thought it was a push by Rooney on Jagielka. Jagielka would have agreed with me.
But, I think the four men sitting in front of us agree with you completely.
Oh yes,
they're all wearing Everton jackets.
Backroom staff for Everton. Manchester United have possession, as they usually have had for the first 24 minutes of this game. Welbeck on to Cleverly, who tried to get it back to Welbeck, but it's intercepted by Everton and then given away by Louis Saha, and then Evans gives it away. Fellaini on to Evra, not Evra, what are we talking about? Saha. But Everton are struggling to string any more than 2 or 3 passes together. Baines on the far side of the field, the left full back. Billy Ledenoff further down that left wing. Baines, though, knocks it infield to Heitinga. Fellaini's very deep today.
He's swapping a couple of times with Osman. You know, Osman was sitting deep, and there Rodwell sat deep a few times. But I think they're trying to take it in turns. We'd see Rodwell now sitting, but in the end, someone has to get up alongside Zaha. You're right, and I would like you. I think I'd like it to be Fellaini.
I expected it to be Fellaini, but not so far. Hibbert, the right fullback, midway inside the United half for a change. And now Coleman, guarded from the right touchline, tackled by Patrice Evra, and the ball breaks out of play. Many people thought that Evra would be missing today, but needs must. United actually having the odd problem with defenders. Smalling's picked up a broken bone, I gather, in his foot. I hope it's not a metatarsal, because that would be him out for much longer than the 2 to 3 games they're talking about. Here's Zaha. Zaha falls over under pressure from Vidic, not holding the ball up correctly.
Never does.
And here's Fletcher from Manchester United to Evans. Evans on to Rooney. Rooney finds Park, a surprise absentee from the team that played Manchester City. But Park loses the ball there, rarely for the Korean. Rodwell then dilly-dallied in the ball. Park won it back, then Rodwell dived in on Jones, and it's a free kick. It might even be a yellow card. It will be a yellow card for Jack Rodwell. Let's get news from Aberdeen Rangers. Juliet Farrington.
It's still 0-0. It's fast and feisty, and Aberdeen holding their own against Rangers, who've yet to really test David Gonzalez. But the home side have lost Rob Milson through injury, and Rangers' Stephen Naismith has just been stretchered off. Rangers frustrated. It's 0-0.
Thanks, Juliet. That was a yellow card, a booking for Jack Rodwell. Sent off here, ridiculously sent off against Liverpool.
I'm actually up with that being quite a ridiculous yellow card as well.
Yeah.
I have to say, I think he fell down and the player ran over the top of him.
Throw in near side of the field to Everton. Hibbert to take it almost level over the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. They're attacking the Stanley Park end of Goodison Park, Everton. The throw-in is being taken, and Hibbert does well. Hibbert tries to cross it, partly blocked and then cleared by Johnny Evans before it goes behind for a corner. Instead he concedes a mere throw-in. 10 yards from the corner flag. Hibbert again to take it in towards Fellaini, edge of the penalty area. Uses his body strength to hold off the challenge of Cleverly. Back it goes to Rodwell. Baines on the far side now as Everton switch from right to left, and then Baines far too clever there. Back heels the ball straight to Jones. Jones rampages over the halfway line. Rooney stays deep. Hernandez is in the penalty area. Jones tries to beat 2 Everton defenders. Wrong choice, and it's knocked out of play for throwing.
Yeah, I was actually watching Hernandez in the middle there, and his movement in that 4 or 5 seconds there was it was bordering on a masterclass. It was phenomenal. In and out about 4 or 5 times. It was hell for the defender to stay with him. The cross didn't come in eventually, but had it come in, I'm sure they'd found some pace. Do you know what? Early in the season, watched Hernandez a few times. Thought he looked a little yard slower than he had been before. He's got it back, you know.
28 minutes gone here at Goodison Park. You're listening to 5 Live. Everton 0, Manchester United 1. The Mexican with the only goal of the game. It's Aberdeen 0, Rangers 0. And then Chelsea and Arsenal kick off at 12:45. You'll hear the first half of that game on 5 Live Sports Extra, and then the second half when this match is concluded at Goodison. Evans for the champions. To Fletcher. Evans again. On to Cleverley. Cleverley was surely fouled there by Jagielka, but Manchester United keep possession. It's with Jones on the far side of the field. Now into Fletcher. Fletcher's pass was rather telegraphed. It should have been intercepted by Osman and wasn't properly intercepted, and United keep the ball. Evans to Cleverley in the centre circle. Evans once more to Welbeck, and not a great ball back to Cleverley. Cleverley did well to keep it for United there. Welbeck was rather casual.
Good closing down though by Everton, isn't it? It's very good. They've not left a half a yard of space there. The problem is they ain't got the ball either.
No. Here's Cleverley. Great to see him back in the centre of that midfield for Manchester United. He was a player that was missed, I thought, too, in the Manchester derby. Rooney playing much deeper today. Fletcher to the captain Vidic over the halfway line, right at the centre circle. And now flicked towards Park, but ahead of the Korean, and out comes Hard to gather the ball just on the edge of his penalty area. By the way, Rio Ferdinand and Nani from the starting 11 against Manchester City, they're both on the bench today. Welbeck wins the ball, and then he's tackled by Fellaini, and it breaks to Osman over the halfway line. Into Fellaini again. Immediately Cleverley goes close, but it's on to Osman, and then Osman, that's a terrible cross behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that Everton, when they get the win chance, I think their decisions on the pass is not absolutely fantastic. So on that occasion, I think Osman was very slow to give the ball to Fellaini. But in the end, quality counts, and at the moment going forward, there's not enough quality.
By the way, the draw for the quarterfinals of the Carling Cup is coming up very shortly, and as soon as it's made, we'll tell you. Goal kick to Manchester United. De Gea has been untroubled in goal.
Just a wee suggestion there about the goal, the build-up to the goal. There was maybe a free kick in the build-up to the goal, which the referee missed, not the shove. But I think it's something we'll have to look at a little bit closer at half-time when we get a monitor.
Rodwell towards Bilyaledin on the far side of the field, but the Russian failed miserably to bring the ball under control, and it's out for a throw into Manchester United. Look where Rooney is, just a few yards outside his own penalty area to receive that throw-in. Rooney now on to Cleverley. They work well in tandem, those two. I still always prefer to see Wayne Rooney further up the pitch for club and country. Now it's played towards Welbeck. Jagielka got in between the United striker and the goalkeeper and headed the ball back just in time to Hard.
Yeah, and Welbeck almost landed in the crowd. He's chasing it down. He's quick as well, and that pace, you know, eventually, if Everton push forward a bit, eventually that pace has got to tell, especially when Everton will be tiring because of more players have played more games.
Good work by Seamus Coleman, but he seems to be surrounded by red shirts, so he has to turn back and plays it to Rodwell, who's deepest of the Everton midfield. On to Baines on the far side, Everton left. Back to Rodwell. Coleman's available once more, and it's taken up by Seamus Coleman. A couple of yards in advance of the centre circle. Now Bilyaledin off shot, left-footed, took a deflection, that's gone behind for a corner.
We've got frustration.
Encouragement.
Yeah, we've got frustration for some of the Everton fans there. They wanted to get the ball forward a little bit quicker, but when they've tried to do that, it's not worked for them. They have to keep the ball as much as they can in midfield and probe and get little areas where they can, you know, maybe have those shots from 15, 20 yards, because when they go forward early, it isn't working for them. Nice to see James McFadden warming up for the first time. He getting a nice round of applause there.
Corner from the Everton right, which Baines will take when he puts the ball properly into the quadrant. Here he comes, right arm aloft, that's the signal, plays it in poorly to the near post. That's the second time he hasn't beaten the man on the near post with a corner from the Everton right, and it's not good enough from someone who's got such a good left foot.
You're absolutely right. You're taking the words out of my mouth. He's fantastic user from dead balls, not only corner kicks but often from free kicks as well. But in this occasion he's trying to hit the near post, but he needs another yard above that. It's just wasted really.
The game at Pittodrie, if you can hear me, kicked off at midday as well. That's Aberdeen 0, Rangers 0 here at Goodison. Everton 0, Manchester United 1. And in about 12 minutes time they'll kick off at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea against Arsenal. Hernandez, the goal scorer for the champions, heads the ball under Welbeck. Welbeck tries to run between two Everton players, and again I think the referee got that absolutely right. There was a little trip.
I'm going to have a look at it again. That's a shootout.
Free kick.
It's classy. It's because it's the pace they're going at, isn't it? If you any sort of touch at all, that's the point, isn't it? Any sort of touch at all. It's not a swipe. It's not a kick out. It's any sort of touch at all, and the player's momentum takes them down.
5 yards in from the left touch line, the free kick for Manchester United. Tapped by Cleverly to Evra. Evra now to Fletcher. Fletcher spotted the run of Park, but kept the ball nearby. He gave it to Rooney, then Rooney gave it away. Rodwell on to Zaha, who can only have touched the ball 2 or 3 times. Zaha on the halfway line to Baines on the far side. Everton left. And on now to Rodwell, who's probably further forward now than he's been in the whole game. Bilyalednov, terrible, awful pass in towards Zaha, intercepted by Cleverly. To Hernandez over the halfway line on the far side of the field. Baines scampering back to help out Heitinga. Hernandez runs into trouble and loses the ball.
Do you know that the ball given away by Bilyalednov there? Part of the reason was Mark Halsey was in the way again. There was no pass on from him because Mark Halsey was right in front of him, and he had to try and play it around him.
Fellaini chips the ball in the direction of Zaha, headed away. Osman then runs forward, ran into finish, and the referee gives a free kick to Everton. United are puzzled.
Yeah, it's a difficult one again for the referee. I mean, the defender can't get out of the way there. He's standing
I can't see how
there.
that's a free kick.
Exactly. I mean, he's standing there, so he can't get out of the way. Osman puts the ball slightly to the side, then runs at a defender who, as I often say to people, I mean, you can't disapparate. You can't suddenly not be there.
No, and I find that a strange one. I really do. Whether an arm was involved or not,
protecting himself. I mean, protecting himself slightly as the player's gone towards him, but even so, you can't suddenly not be there.
No, nevertheless, it's in a really good position, this, for Everton. It's slightly to the left of the D as they look at it. Zaha is there, so too is Bilyalednov. And Baines.
I don't think it's the right angle for Baines, is it?
No, it's not. Baines is, if he's going to do anything, he'll just tap it for one or t'other who are alongside him. Baines taps it for Zaha. Zaha's shot straight into the backside of Hernandez, and it rebounds toward the halfway line. Coleman then flicks it high into the penalty area. De Gea comes, good punch away. Collected by Baines, though. It's still inside the penalty area. Bilyalednov for the cross in towards Fellaini, headed away by Manchester United, and now properly cleared by Jones up into the centre circle. Heitinga takes it on his chest. 10 minutes to half-time. United lead Everton 1-0. Fellaini with a header down, and the snapshot by Osman, saved by the Spanish goalkeeper.
It does look the most dangerous moment when the ball's played from deep areas to Fellaini when he's actually up there, because either he wins a header or else he's been grappled towards the ground by the United defenders. Most of the time the United defenders got it right.
Here's Rodwell getting the ball off Fletcher. Rodwell approaching the penalty area, shoots left-footed wide.
Really disappointing because he played everything right up until the shot there. Gets the ball in midfield, runs forward with it, takes it onto his left foot, doesn't seem to be panicking, but from 20 yards he's got to get it on target.
But what you're saying about Fellaini there, it's all right starting conservatively Everton against the champions. I understand that completely, but they're a goal down now, and if they don't get the Belgian forward in proper support of Zaha, I don't see what they've got attack-wise.
I think it will eventually. I mean, if you look at Everton, the problem is, centre forwards for quite a while. When's the last time they had a centre forward they can absolutely trust in? Is A, going to score a load of goals, and B, is going to be able to do the entirety of the job? The reason why they haven't got one of them is because they're the most expensive people in the game, and Everton ain't got any money.
Here's Jones on the far side of the field, flicking the ball forward with the outside of his right foot, but Baines is there before Park. The pass back to goalkeeper Hard, and Hard's clearance upfield. Vidic out-muscles Zaha in the contest for the ball, but it breaks to Fellaini. And now Baines rushing forward, already midway inside the United half, but it was a poor pass to Bilyalednov, and they're lucky to get a throw in Everton out of it. Baines to take it. It's been a tad more encouraging for Everton over the last few minutes, where they are getting players forward. A crossfield ball hit by Rodwell to Hibbert. Hibbert heads it down well to find Osman. Osman to Hibbert again. A little bit of room for the right fullback. Just to the right of the penalty. Taps it into Osman, who's offside. According to the assistant anyway, we're not in the position to judge.
It was very, very tight. I thought it looked just about level, but the assistant's in a far better position than us. But just for a moment there, down the right-hand side, once again, Hibbert, you've got to applaud him for getting down to that area, time and time again. Sorry, the whole place groaned there because the referees ran to the corner to get a little drink of water.
Yep.
I often see that.
Yep.
But Hibbert went on to his left foot there, but didn't trust himself to put the ball in with his left foot, and you've got to be able to try it now and again. Just swing a leg at it, you never know.
7 minutes to go to half-time. Manchester United lead Everton 1-0 here on 5 Live. Reminding you that in 5 minutes' time, they'll be kicking off Chelsea against Arsenal at Stamford Bridge, and you can hear commentary in the first half on our sister station 5 Live Sports Extra. Then we'll bring you second half commentary from there once this match has finished. And we've just got the draw for the quarterfinals of the Carling Cup. It's a tad interesting.
Oh, it is.
Arsenal against Manchester City. Chelsea against Liverpool. Manchester United against Crystal Palace. And then Cardiff will play Blackburn Rovers. So there are 2 heavyweight clashes there. And Manchester United get a home draw.
They certainly do. Man United will be delighted with that draw. And Chelsea-Liverpool, oh, what fantastic.
Well, Liverpool drawn away for the 4th round in succession. Here's Fellaini moving forward. Oh, that's a soft free kick. For an alleged foul challenge by Fletcher. The free kick right on the edge of the D.
We're having one of our disagreeing days today. I thought it was a free kick. And there's not that much complaining other than Wayne Rooney, but we know Wayne likes to complain now and again. But now, however, unlike the last free kick, we're in Bain's country now.
Yeah, well, it's a foot outside the D, towards the right. And just reminding, Arsenal against Manchester City, Chelsea against Liverpool, Manchester United against Crystal Palace, and Cardiff against Blackburn. They're the quarter-finals in the Carling Cup.
I thought the big teams didn't take this competition seriously.
Well,
obviously they'd love to win it.
A few of them do. So here's an opportunity for Everton. A little over 5 minutes left in the first half. They trail the champions 1-0. Baines, what can he conjure up here? Left-footed, up over the wall, hits the crossbar. Rebounds to safety, headed clear by Cleverley. Good free kick from Baines. Very unfortunate. Now Welbeck can clear. Yes, he does clear. And who got a knock there? I think Coleman hobbles away. But it's relief for Manchester United to throw in.
Brilliant technique, wasn't it? Absolutely fantastic technique. I was looking at it there thinking, that's a big wall. He's not going to be able to get it up and down. Well, he didn't quite
really
get it up and down, but I'll tell you what, he was 3 inches away from it.
Really good. And De Gea was well beaten.
He wasn't within 5 yards of it.
It's head upfield for United. Towards Hernandez. Hard goes out there. Gets to the ball first. Throws it out to Heidegger. Well, it's the first proper encouragement that Everton fans have had today.
Yeah,
that free kick.
The places where I'd expect them to get opportunities are Baines free kicks. And as I said before, balls put into Fellaini.
Billy led enough. Just to the left of the United penalty. And what's he thinking of?
He was waiting for the overlap from Leighton Baines, but Leighton Baines wasn't confident they could get there because
the pass went straight out of play for a throw-in.
Yeah, he's not had a great start to the game, Billy Ectonoff, at the moment. I think he's losing his battle.
Yeah, the thing is, unfortunately, Manchester United made changes today out of choice. And they've got the squad strength that can do that Fergie can decide, right, Ferdinand, you were hopeless last Sunday, you're out. That type of thing. Everton have to make changes, if it's injuries. It's not out of choice usually. Otherwise, I can't see Billy Lednoff being in the starting 11.
No, you're absolutely right. It wouldn't be in the starting 11. There's no doubt about that. And David Moyes, what he has to do, whether it's the Carling Cup, which was 120 minutes with a hard work the other night, or whether it's a league game, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter who he's playing against. There are no options.
No.
It just puts up the 11 best players that he's got on the day.
I mean, at least 2 of the players on the Everton bench I know absolutely zilch about. I never heard of Ross Barkley. I'm only joking. I know that's a kid of immense promise.
Yeah, I mean, but it isn't. You're right. I mean, even the ones like Strakwalasa, he's not really I consider a player that can play every single week. He's hopeful there's a bit of a chance about him. James McFadden's come back after a year out of injury.
Yeah.
He's already straight onto the bench, and Apostolos Velios. I mean, I still can't remember which team he came from because it's lower league. Greece. So they have got very, very limited options, and the big thing is, and nobody really complains to Davy Moyes about that because it's not really his fault. But I can't really blame the owner either, because I mean, you can't conjure money out of nowhere. No, well, unless you're a government.
Unless you go to China and ask them for the odd 3 trillion.
I was going to go on about quantitative easing there, but let's not go there.
Okay, here's Park. Korea might help. Here's Fletcher now onto the near side, and Welbeck. Manchester United leading 1-0, 2 minutes left in the first half here on 5 Live. Chelsea Arsenal about to kick off at Stamford Bridge. Park being hustled by Heitinga. Gets the pass back to Fletcher. Fletcher almost lost it, then there's a handball clearly by Coleman, and it's a free kick. 3 yards into the left touchline. Coleman's a bit fortunate. I know it would have been a soft yellow, but it was a deliberate handball.
Yeah, I think he'll argue that he was falling down anyway. Well, I know he'll argue that, whether it's true or not.
I fell down, Your Honour, and accidentally put my hand on the ball so that Fletcher couldn't move forward with it. Cleverly with the free kick, or maybe it'll be Evra. Jones is up from right back, and he wants it played deep. I wonder if Cleverly will pay any attention. Rooney's now lurking in the D of the Everton penalty area. Cleverly makes his signal, and that's a terrible free kick. Absolutely awful. From a young man of whom we hold such regard. But Rooney, after Everton squander the clearance, to Welbeck, into Park, edge of the penalty area, Hernandez snapshot, saved by the goalkeeper hard.
And snapshot it is, there's just no back left whatsoever from Hernandez. Turns, zips the ball towards goal, gets it on target, as he usually does. But just in the build-up to that play, there was first moment of real great play by Wayne Rooney. Twisting a turn to left Fellaini for dead for about 5 yards.
Oh, great work by Welbeck, skipping away from Hibbert, and then 2 Everton players sort of sandwich him kindly and take the ball off him.
I think at this point in time, Everton would probably be quite happy, to last the next minute or so and get in at 1-0. I don't know what Everton would be, but Davy Moyes would. But they may get one last chance.
But you're heading off to Saha. Seconds remaining of the first 45 minutes. Saha on his left foot. Shot takes a deflection, but De Gea's behind it and saved comfortably.
That's the best moment so far from Louis Saha. Gets the ball 1-on-1, and
Hernandez limping a little bit.
Yeah, he is a little bit. I mean, it's just the time he wants to get a little injury so he can get 15 minutes worth of work on him just now. He's got a minute to survive.
Yeah, here's the statutory minute. Do you remember any hold-up in play?
No.
No, they just add a minute. If in doubt, add a minute. Why don't they just accept that there have been no stoppages and, play the 45 minutes?
I can't remember even anyone wasting any time.
No, not at all.
There certainly hasn't been anyone injured at the moment.
Saha to Osman. On to Bilyaledinov, left of the penalty area, faced by 2 United defenders. Jones is nearest him. He got the cross over the Russian, but it was far too deep. Hibbert, though, keeps them play down the Everton right flank. Back to Fellaini. Fellaini now lays it to Heitinga, who half full of shooting from 40 yards. Changes his mind, gets it forward to Coleman. Edge of the penalty, almost came off. Ball breaks to Saha. Saha shot straight at the goalkeeper.
Twice in a row, Saha's got himself into positions where he can shoot. What a bit of skill from Coleman. That's the best piece of skill we've seen in the game so far. 3 or 4 little drag backs there. Then he lost control of one, but it hit off his heel and went straight, fell to the wind. He wanted it to fall to Saha. He couldn't score, so half-time whistle goes and it's 1-0.
And for about 40 minutes, I thought there isn't a prayer part of Everton getting back into this game, having gone a goal down to Manchester United, but there has been hope for them.
Yeah, there is a prayer because, it is only 1-0 just now. I don't think Manchester United have pushed on to the level I expected them to do so. And in the end, Cleverly and Rooney, who I thought to myself, they're going to get lots of space, they're going to really enjoy it. They've actually fallen out of the game in the last 15 or 20 minutes, and Everton have come back into it. So David Moyes will get them back in there and say it's only 1 goal. Manchester United, will they wobble if Everton can start creating a few chances, because the confidence can't be absolutely sky high. But at this moment, it has to be said, Alan, I think Manchester United are still strong favourites to go in and get the 3 points.
Agreed. Half-time they lead Everton by 1-0.
So commentary to come on the second half from Goodison. The first half of Chelsea-Arsenal's on Sports Extra. We'll bring you the second half. Let's go to Mike Ingham. They're just underway.
Yeah, 2 minutes underway, 0-0 at Stamford Bridge. It was an incredibly sort of leisurely build-up to this game. You'd never have guessed there was a match of such intensity because people were coming in late, but we're underway here. Chelsea have had most of the ball since the kick-off. Fabio Capello is here watching John Terry, who of course is getting cheered every time he gets the ball from the Chelsea fans, not so much the other end with the Arsenal fans. He's partnered today by Ivanovic, preferred to Luiz. We've had one sort of moment of action really. Ashley Cole got away from Giroud, who slipped, got a terrific ball in, and Torres wasn't too far away from it. It forced an early corner. So Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0, but very much the settling down process here, early stages.
So just to reiterate, commentary right now on Sports Extra. We will bring you second half commentary here on 5 Live Sport after the conclusion of the Everton-Manchester United game. And approaching half-time at Pittodrie as well, Juliet Farrington.
Yeah, we're into stoppage time here, and it's 0-0, a good first half for Aberdeen. They've certainly frustrated Rangers. They've had good spells of possession. They've created the better opportunities. The Scottish champions, though, Mark, yet to really test David Gonzalez. They've also lost Stephen Naismith as well, who was stretchered off. Carl Lafferty's come on for him. Darren Mackey's replaced Rob Milson, who hobbled off for Aberdeen. But it's a real battle here, and Alan McGregor has had to be at his best. 0-0.
Just to reiterate, the Carling Cup quarter-final draw's just been made. Arsenal against Manchester City, Chelsea at home to Liverpool, Manchester United, Crystal Palace, and Cardiff against Blackburn. John Motson's going to watch Manchester City today at home to Wolves. Match of the day, 10:15. Motti 6 last weekend, 5 in midweek, and Wolves again for Manchester City this afternoon.
Well, it's actually 33 goals in their first 9 games, Mark, and you'd look at this game, as you rightly say, and think, are Wolves there to be turned over again? Because they have conceded 2 or more goals in each of their last 6 Premier League games. I'm pretty certain that Mick McCarthy will be strengthening his midfield in an attempt to stem the tide a little bit here, because City at the moment are just piling it on, aren't they? I mean, in a week when we've had the Carlos Tevez distraction and all sorts of other things going on, they really have managed to focus on their football, Mancini's team, haven't they?
Well, let's just have a word, Motti, about man of the moment in many ways for Manchester City, Mario Balotelli, the controversial Italian, making headlines on and off the pitch, but his teammate Joe Hart is pleased to see him getting some positive coverage for once.
Yeah, I'm happy he's getting love, because he's had some strange press in the past, and well, he's a strange guy, so he's going to get strange press. I think that's fair enough. But yeah, he's getting love for the right reasons, and he's a great footballer, and I'm happy to see that.
And he's finally getting maybe the credit that he does deserve on the pitch.
He's getting credit that he deserves for doing well. I don't think he deserves it for any other bad press that he's got previously. But when he does well, then fair play to him.
And is he really organising the Christmas party?
No.
No.
Nothing's been said yet. I just know he's not in charge.
Quite a definite no from Joe Hart to Juliet Farrington. Motti, Balotelli ever more important, of course, because of the whole Tevez situation.
Well, yeah, Balotelli scored in each of the last 4 Premier League games, hasn't he? I mean, he's on a real streak. Yeah, the Tevez thing is rumbling on here, Mark. I mean, I've had some soundings from the club this morning. They're certainly not comfortable with the Professional Footballers Association's intervention, which, as you saw in the week, meant that Gordon Taylor represented Tevez and then, actually played it by the rule book and said that the rules state you could only fine a player 2 weeks' wages, and of course that meant City had to halve the fine that they'd initially issued to Tevez. So there's a bit of a Barney going on about that here, and also I wouldn't be too carried away by one of the paper stories this morning about Mancini signing a new 4-year contract. I'm told that's rather premature at this stage.
So from the Wolves' point of view, with everything that happened last weekend as well, Motti, with Mick McCarthy getting a bit of stick from his own fans and then coming back a little bit at them subsequently during the week. They've got today, and they've got Chelsea and Manchester United to come before Christmas as well. This could shape things a little bit for them the next few weeks.
Well, it could, and I'll tell you something else they've got, Mark, which is probably even more pressing than those 2 that you mentioned. A week tomorrow, next Sunday, Wolves are at home to Wigan. Now, that, if you really want a 6-pointer, that's one of them, and that could be pivotal because it's really at home where Mick McCarthy's been taking the brunt of the fans' complaints. I think a game like this one today, they wouldn't expect to get too much out of this match. Anything they get, in fact, today here is a bonus. But with Manchester United winning at half-time there at Everton, of course, City will be all out to protect that 5-point lead. Mind you, I've seen 12-point leads disappear in Championship chases. Mark, they blow up a bit like a Balotelli firework, don't they?
You have seen a couple of 12-point leads go in the past, haven't you? Anything else that catches your eye, Motti? Sunderland, Aston Villa, obviously Darren Bent back there. Norwich, Blackburn, Swansea, Bolton, the promoted teams needing to take advantage of playing well at home, which those two have, actually.
Yes, I think so. I mean, I've been very impressed with what I've seen of Norwich City. They seem to all know what each other's job is in the team, and they made a very solid start. I'm expecting Queen's Park Rangers, who play Tottenham tomorrow, I'm expecting them to invest in the transfer market again in January, which may be enough to keep them up. I think Swansea have got it all on because they're not doing so well away from home, are they? But they got their first point last week. But yes, I mean, just hitting on one thing you said there, Darren Bent's departure from Sunderland to Aston Villa was a real blow for Steve Bruce, and it wasn't helped by the fact that Asamoah Gyan then took heel and went off. So Sunderland have had an iffy kind of start to the season. He'll want his team to settle down, and no one more so, of course, than Steve Keane, because although Blackburn have got through to the quarter-finals of the Carling Cup, their league position looks ominous, to say the least.
Motti, looking forward to match of the day. Thank you very much. 10:15 this evening. Back to Stamford Bridge, Mike Ingham, where it's been all Chelsea so far.
It has. It's 0-0. I would say, Mark, slightly worrying signs here early on here for Arsenal, particularly in these wide positions where, at the moment, Basingwa and Ashley Cole really seem to have the upper hand against the two fullbacks, Giroud and Santos. Giroud slipped twice against Ashley Cole, and with Mikel just protecting the Chelsea back four, it's giving licence really to Ashley Cole and also to Basingwa and Sturridge over on the far side to raid forward as Chelsea come forward yet again, and Arsenal really do need to sort out this position at the back. They're looking very flat and very square. Still 0-0.
And half-time at Pittodrie, Juliet Farrington.
It's 0-0. Craig Brown will be happier, though, of the two managers. Aberdeen impressive first half, and if it wasn't for Alan McGregor, they would be 1-0 up against Rangers after the Scotland goalkeeper produced a fine save to deny Carrie Arneson's strike from around about 30 yards out very early on in the game. Rangers, though, they've lost Stephen Naismith. He was stretchered off. He's been replaced by Carl Lafferty. Rangers also yet to really test the Aberdeen goal, and of course they're looking to open up a 13-point gap over Celtic this afternoon. Aberdeen 0, Rangers 0.
So we'll bring you second half commentary of Everton Manchester United here on 5 Live Sport. The first half of Chelsea Arsenal is in full on Sports Extra. Then we will bring you the second half here, and after that at 3 o'clock it's John Murray and Jimmy Armfield with Manchester City against Wolves. All the racing today, the Rugby League, the Rugby Union as well, and Sports Report from 5 o'clock. 5-1 now. 1-0 to Manchester United at Goodison, 0-0 Chelsea Arsenal. Here's Tom Sanders with the news.
Online at bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Australia's national airline Qantas has grounded all its aircraft around the world as a long-running dispute with unions escalates. Australia's Prime Minister Julia Gillard has asked the regulator to step in to stop the strike because she says it threatens the country's economy. 4 flights due to take off from Heathrow today have been cancelled. Several NATO personnel and civilians have been killed in a Taliban suicide attack in the Afghan capital, Kabul. In a separate attack in the south of the country, a man dressed in army uniform shot dead 2 foreign soldiers. People who fail to pay their fine after they've been convicted for criminal behaviour could lose up to £25 a week in benefits. The government wants to raise the current limit of £5 in 2013. Officials in Bangkok say the city's flood defences have, in the most part, held up as Thailand suffers its worst floods for 50 years. It was feared that unusually high tides may breach defences in the centre of the capital this morning. And 16 people have been arrested over a protest against plans to expand Southend Airport in Essex. The activists got onto the runway just after 9 o'clock this morning. Time for a look at the travel news now. Here's Louise Pepper.
We're starting County Durham. There's a lane closed on the northbound exit slip road of the A1M at junction 62 for Durham due to an accident. South Yorkshire, reports of queues for the M18 northbound between junction 6 at Thorn and the M62 at junction 7 after an accident. Cambridgeshire, queues for the A14. There was an accident between Bar Hill and the Girton interchange at the M11. Now that's been cleared away, but the delays are back to Fenstanton. And to the west of London, there's one lane closed on the A40 in both directions between the Hanger Lane Geratery and the Hoover building for roadworks. 2 miles of queues on the approaches in both directions. And a reminder, you've just been hearing, all Qantas flights are grounded worldwide due to an industrial dispute, but also Air France flights are affected by an industrial action today. So do check with either airline if you're due to fly with them today. Louise Pepper, 5 Live Travel.
Show your spots for BBC Children in Need.
Hi, I'm Oscar.
And I'm Charlie.
And we're from Clitheroe.
And I'm Faye from Blackpool.
So Faye, what are you doing for Children in Need?
I'm organising a great big family fun night and raffle at our local pub.
Well, that's good, but why don't you make the raffle tickets out of chocolate?
But won't everybody eat them?
Yeah! Then everyone's a winner.
How big are you going this year? For your free Children in Need fundraising pack, go online and search for BBC Children in Need.
This is 5 Live Sport with Mark Pugach.
What a lively start at Stamford Bridge, Mike Ingham.
Well, don't you just love this game? It was all Chelsea for the first 10 minutes, but now Arsenal should be in front. They're not, though. It's 0-0, and the boot very much on the other foot. I've been talking about Ashley Cole going forward and giving the Arsenal defence a lot of problems. Well, he was caught out by Walcott, who did absolutely everything. He put the ball on the plate for Gervinho. This was after about 11 minutes. It was a tap-in, really, and he shoveled it horribly wide. And Walcott's just put in another great ball for Van Persie. So despite the Chelsea possession here, Arsenal should be in front, 0-0.
Sebastian Vettel elsewhere is on pole for tomorrow's first Indian Grand Prix. The 13th time this season, the world champion has qualified quickest. Red Bull teammate Mark Webber alongside him on the grid. Fernando Alonso and Jenson Button share the second row. Lewis Hamilton starts 5th after being penalised 3 places for ignoring warning flags during yesterday's practice. And Rory McIlroy has a 2-shot lead after the third round of the Shanghai Golf. He shot a round of 65 to lead America's Anthony Kim. Meanwhile, world number 1 Luke Donald's pulled out of next week's World Golf Championship event because of the imminent arrival of his second child. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0, live on Sports Extra for the first half. We'll bring you the second half. We'll go back now to Goodison Park in a second for Everton against Manchester United. And Mike Ingham.
Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. Frank Lampard has just headed Chelsea into the lead about 90 seconds after Arsenal really should have gone in front here. We have a goal. We should have quite a derby now. This will open up, I think. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. A headed goal from Frank Lampard.
Back to Goodison in a second then, but before that, England play India in a 2020 at Eden Gardens this afternoon. Adam Mountford's there for us. Adam, has Kevin Peterson recovered from that broken thumb?
Not sure yet, Mark. He's just had a hit in the middle for about 25 minutes. He's currently running around the outfield, so must have a chance of playing, and he really wants to, particularly as we're expecting a crowd here in excess of 50,000 here at Eden Gardens, Calcutta. If he doesn't make it, then Ian Bell should get a T20 chance. Otherwise, we expect Joss Butler and Alex Hales to come in, the T20 specialists, and possibly Jay Durbach coming in for Stuart Meeker. It's the same pitch they're playing on where England lost 10 wickets for 47 runs on Tuesday, and not just pride at stake. Defeat for England would see them drop from top to third position in the new T20 rankings. We start at 2 o'clock your time.
And there's commentary on the cricket after we finish with the football over on 5 Live Sports Extra. Today, the second match of the Rugby League Four Nations tournament after Australia beat New Zealand last night. It's England against Wales today. And Stuart Pike is at the Lee Sports Village.
Yes, Mark, and would you believe you have to go way back to 1972 for the last time that England, or indeed Great Britain, won a major Rugby League tournament, and Australia showed last night just why it'll be extremely difficult to stop the rot. But coach Steve McNamara has assembled a talented squad. They're unchanged. For the Welsh, disappointingly, no famous red jersey for Gareth Thomas after his shot retirement this week, although Captain Lee Breers is back for the Welsh today. And a bit of inspiration, coach Iestyn Harris inviting Welsh legend Ryan Giggs to present the jerseys to the players this week. Realistically, though, anything other than a convincing England win would be a major surprise.
Stuart will bring us updates throughout the afternoon. You can watch it live on BBC One from 2 o'clock. And the main part of the jump racing season starts this afternoon. It'll end, of course, with the festival at Cheltenham. There's Aintree and Punchestown to look forward to as well. But what a terrific curtain raiser in the form of the Bet365 Charlie Hall Chase at Wetherby at 3:20 this afternoon. Our correspondent Cornelius Lysett is there. It looks like a mini Cheltenham Gold Cup, Cornelius.
Well, slightly less mini Gold Cup than it did look. We've heard in the last few moments that Diamond Harry, the favourite, misses today's Charlie Hall Chase. He has been found to be late lame in a stable here. He arrived from his stables in Devon to Wetherby Racecourse here in West Yorkshire yesterday afternoon, but overnight he's managed to bang one of his hind legs, so he can't take part in the race this afternoon. Leaves 7 for the Charlie Hall, and the leading contenders here will be Time for Rupert, trained by Paul Webber, Will Kennedy, the jockey on board, one of the up-and-coming horses around. The well-backed Pocolin, Ruby Walsh is here to back that, to ride that. Nakarat, who won it last year, and Weird Owl as well. So disappointment that Diamond Harry doesn't run, but still a good Charlie Hall, and we'll keep you in touch throughout the afternoon with all the news from here at Wetherby, and indeed the final week of the Flat Jockeys title race between Paul Hannigan and Sylvester de Souza elsewhere.
Thank you for that, Cornelius. 0-0 Aberdeen Rangers half-time. Chelsea 1 up on Arsenal at Stamford Bridge, live on Sports Extra for the first half, a Frank Lampard header. And Manchester United 1 up at Everton as we go back to Goodison for the second half, and Conor McNamara.
Thank you, Mark. Popular change over the break here because David Moyes has made a substitution. He has brought off Diniar Bilieletdinov and he has brought on Ross Barkley, the 17-year-old who's a popular figure here at Goodison Park, Pat Nevin.
Certainly popular with me as well. I think he's a fabulous young player, and I'm maybe slightly surprised that he didn't start the game. He's not the best defensively, he gives the ball away sometimes, but, you know, is Billy any better than that? Not too sure about that. So, positive move from Everton. They're going to try and get that goal back.
Yeah, Ross Barkley's only made a handful of top-flight appearances in his career. Already, though, he's been linked, as has the likes of Rodwell in the past, with a move to a club like Manchester United. He's the latest hot property to come through here at Goodison Park. He's in a midfield along with Rodwell, Fellaini, Osman and Coleman. Everton's back four are Hibbert, Jagielka, Heitinga and Baines, the goalkeeper Howard, and up front it's Saha. It's a free kick to Everton on the halfway line. I'll give you the Manchester United team just after this. Jagielka takes the free kick. Everton playing right to left. Fellaini wins the header on the edge of the penalty area. Falls for Rooney in a right full-back position. Boos for Rooney as he launches it back towards the halfway line, and Heitinga with a less than certain touch. And the first touch of the ball for Barkley is to turn on the halfway line and give it back to the goalkeeper Howard. So the Manchester United team unchanged from the first half. De Gea the goalkeeper, Phil Jones, Vidic, Evans and Evra the defence. In midfield, Fletcher and Cleverley and Park, with Rooney and Welbeck, and then Hernandez up front. And it is Javier Hernandez who scored the opening goal here, separating Everton and Manchester United on 5 Live. Everton, Pat, for fans just tuning in here for second half coverage, they had quite a few chances in that first half. Rodwell had a chance, Saha had several, Baines hit the crossbar.
Yeah, I think the first few minutes they played well, maybe up to 5 minutes or so. And then they faded out. I think Manchester United dominated then for about 25-30 minutes. And then just those last 10 minutes, as you say, those opportunities all came in that little period just before half-time. And that would have certainly given them a little bit of heart, and certainly given David Moyes a bit of heart, because he's made what I think is a very positive substitution.
Everton have scored a lot of late goals this season. And a challenge on the halfway line there on Phil Jones. He ends up on the ground. Louis Saha's not happy. And the referee, what's the referee got? He's given a free kick to Manchester United.
I can't see the problem there, to be fair. But, Jones feels that he was taken out of the play by Saha. Saha, for me, was trying to hold the ball up. But certainly Jones, I can tell you what, he felt it.
A little hobble from Phil Jones, but he'll be okay. And we're back underway here at Goodison Park. Fletcher with possession near the centre circle. Gives it back to Johnny Evans, who was sent off last weekend but served his suspension over the Carling Cup game during the week. Here's Evra, whose cross led to Hernandez's goal. And Rooney, who's back playing almost like a central defender now. He's got very much the free role here back at his old stomping ground of Goodison Park. Here is Park Ji-sung, that is, to the far side to Welbeck, a little bit of space. Hibbert moves across to close that down. Now Rooney involved in a more attacking role, gives it to Welbeck on the edge of the penalty area, back out to Evra on the left hand side. Manchester United have several players up around the edge of the penalty area. This is towards Cleverley, gets a nice touch for Welbeck, who tried to backheel, comes back to Welbeck again. Oh, that's a really good build-up, and it just spun away, even with the box of tricks that Danny Welbeck has at his disposal. He wasn't able to control the final pass into him there, and it carries through to the goalkeeper Howard.
Yeah, it's neat, sharp passing, just in the last third there, and it's the style that Manchester United are trying to play are very much, not down the wings as they have done in previous times with out wingers such as Nani. Trying neat little 1-2s through that middle area with Wayne Rooney, obviously, and with Tom Cleverley. Very much in the Barcelona style. Yes. Not quite to that level yet, though, with this young team.
Yeah, the tiki-taka little one-touch football which cleverly does seem a real natural at. Baines here tries to send the ball down the left for Everton. It deflects off Park and goes out for a throw into the home side. So Everton 0, Manchester United 1 here on 5 Live. The throw in to Rodwell. Controlled now by Barkley, who's got Jones up against him, but he'll chip into space. That's a lovely vision from Barkley to bring Hibbert into things on the right-hand side. Hibbert has a lot of time. Poor cross, though. Comes off Welbeck. Still gets to the edge of the penalty area. Fletcher picks it up for Manchester United. Fellaini might have fouled him. Yes, he has. Free kick for Manchester United. Everton fans not happy.
No, and Fellaini, he's always tackling. He wants to tackle. He wants to get in about it. It's just difficult these days. If you touch the player at all, you'll get a free kick against you. Just interesting again there. I mean, I don't like it sounds as if I'm on the guy's case, but nothing is sticking to Zaha. Once again, the ball comes up to him there, and it's whether he's not just got a particularly good touch or not, but everything's bouncing off him just now, and his team, his midfield just don't get a chance to get up behind him, and you wonder if it would be worthwhile just putting Fellaini up there.
Nice play there by Jones. Put the ball one side of Barkley, ran around the other to collect it. Pat talking about Louis Saha there. He has scored in his last 2 appearances. Scored against Fulham last weekend. Scored against Chelsea here in midweek. I think Everton fans will put up with 90 minutes of frustration if he can pop up with one good moment at the end. Now cleverly has given the ball away to Jagielka. Chance of a counter-attack for Everton. They've outnumbered Manchester United if they can be quick. Osman to the near side to Barkley. It's slowed down a little bit now. Barkley up against Vidic. Sends it across midfield, and again he's picked out Hibbert in a lot of space. Everton need a better delivery now. Hibbert gives it short to Coleman. Here comes the cross into the centre, and Vidic easily beats Louis Saha. Evra's given it away once again to Everton. This is Fellaini to Coleman on the right hand side. Flicked on header by Osman, and then chested back to the goalkeeper by De Gea. That was unorthodox from Jones. We know of diving headers. That was a diving chest.
It was very unusual. Intriguing though, watching Manchester United just now when you compare them to the game against Manchester City today. When they lose the ball, everybody except Hernandez is behind the ball. Everybody can be in their 18-yard line. The work rate today, you've not actually got any flouncy wingers who are standing out there, hoping the ball will come to them and not chasing back. That is not the team that Sir Alex Ferguson's put out today, and I'm not even slightly surprised by that.
This is Jagielka at the back for Everton. Right-footed ball towards the edge of the penalty area. Linesman's flag is raised on the far side against Louis Saha, and he wasn't going to get in anyway. Vidic had him well patrolled. From that game against Manchester City last weekend, Alex Ferguson made 5 changes to his team. The players left out Ferdinand, Smalling, Young, who's injured, Anderson and Nani. And Nani is available on the bench should Alex Ferguson need him, as is Rio Ferdinand. The rest of the substitutes, Owen and Berbatov and Valencia and Fabio, the defensive option in there as well.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of the wingers come on later on in the game for Manchester United, because Everton will get tired. There's no doubt about that. And when the game's a little bit stretched, that's when you're bring those sort of players to come on. So that's another worry for David Moyes, but he'll have to worry about that later. Right now, Osman very unlucky there.
Yeah. Nemanja Vidic trying to play his way out of trouble. Osman put him under a lot of pressure. Vidic seemed to be penned in against the sideline, but he did very well. Little drag back heel to himself, and he worked his way out of trouble, albeit with a high-risk manoeuvre. Everton 0, Manchester United 1. This is Evra on the far side. Gives it to Welbeck, who had to stretch to control it, and he didn't control it very well. Rodwell for Everton. Sends one over the top. Coleman's going to chase. Evans gets there ahead of him, and Evans has given the ball away. Not good play by Johnny Evans. Coleman finds Rodwell. Shooting position. Good save by De Gea. Diving to his right-hand side. Once again, a shot on target from Everton, but Rodwell wasn't able to beat the Spanish goalkeeper. It's a nice ebb and flow to the game now. Cleverly's ball over the top. Oh, surely that's offside. Hernandez has it. Play on, says the referee. There's no flag. Hernandez is in the penalty area. Waves his arms in frustration. He's no one to pass it to. And now Everton regain possession. This is Coleman on the far side. There's a lovely end-to-end nature about things now at Goodison Park. Here comes Seamus Coleman. Fancies a run against Evra. Goes around him into the box. Low cross, picks out Zaha, but there's no shot on the end of it. And in fact, it goes out for a throw into Everton down the right-hand side.
I think Tom Cleverley's gone down injured as well. The referee's going to stop the game for that. It's just sad to see if he has got another injury. I didn't actually see anyone near him at the time.
A few things to discuss, but let's do that after we hear from Stamford Bridge. Chelsea leading Arsenal. Last time we heard from Mike Ingham.
Still 1-0 to Chelsea, 26 minutes gone, and Arsenal, not much response from them really to going behind, and they're continuing to have problems defending in the wide positions. Indeed, the goal came from a cross from Mata from the right-hand side, headed in by Lampard. 1-0 to Chelsea.
Commentary continues on our sister station 5 Live Sports Extra of that one. Cleverly's receiving treatment outside the penalty area here at Goodison Park. First of all, Pat Nevin, the shot from Rodwell bringing a save out of De Gea. Everton still creating chances here.
Yeah, now they're pushing forward a little bit just now. Quite sad, and I think Alan spotted. I think he thinks, and I think I agree with him, Cleverly's out. Yeah. You can't seem to move. There's the noises. I mean, you can tell by the way he's walking off. He's absolutely devastated by that. Another injury.
I've been told actually, by the way, that the shot from Rodwell a moment ago hit De Gea in the face. That's how he saved it. Now, Cleverly is coming off the field. Manchester United presumably are going to have to prepare a substitute. There's a few guys warming up. Valencia's down there. Cleverly's really taking his time walking off here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw the physio wave the sort of it's all over motion, implying that Cleverly wouldn't be coming back on, but let's see. Haven't seen any Manchester United player.
No, he's walking off. He's not, and that's not a player that's interesting him back on the pitch. That's a player who's walking straight off.
For the moment they've got 10. Everton have possession. Fellaini in the penalty area, right hand side. Coleman lofts in across, well won in the air by Phil Jones from Manchester United. Commanding header, cleared it well outside the penalty area. It remains 1-0 to Manchester United. Here is Rodwell for Everton. Passes low to the near side. Barkley has it. Baines has gone on the overlap. Ross Barkley can't quite get enough position to give a cross into the penalty area, but he's good at picking out balls into midfield. Jagielka floats one in. Vidic wins it in the air and heads it straight back out to Jagielka, and he nods it down to Heitinga. And here come Everton again with Baines on the left-hand side. Gives it to Ross Barkley. Barkley's got Jones up ahead of him. Now that's a better cross. No, actually too high once it got into the centre, and Hibbert won't keep it in play on the far side either. But for the first time, Barkley took on the fullback there and got around him.
Yeah, and before that he kept on going inside. He's been shown inside and he's going exactly where the defender wanted him. But it shows you the intelligence of the young man. He decided that's where he wants me to go. I'm going to go outside, and showed they had the ability to do that. And I thought it was going to be wingers coming on at some point, but I didn't think it was going to be for Cleverly, I have to say.
Cleverly goes off, and Nani has come on at the change. Let's go back to Stamford Bridge. Mike Ingham.
Well, it's 1-0 to Chelsea. A game of missed chances, though. Gervinho missing dreadfully for Arsenal, and just moments ago as you came across there, Sturridge, it did bobble a little bit, but he only had Szczesny to beat, and it really should have been the second goal for Chelsea. It remains 1-0 through Lampard's goal.
Thank you, Mike. Missed chances for Everton here at Goodison Park as well. The best of them, the closest of them, when Leighton Baines hit the crossbar with a free kick just before half-time. It was a really good effort. He needed it to be 1 inch lower, and this game would be level.
You know, Mike was talking about the chances out there. I saw a little bit of that Chelsea game there just at half-time. Fernando Torres should have had 2 goals, and it was not his fault he didn't get them. One, Sturridge didn't pass him, and another time Ashley Cole didn't pass him. What a shame that for the boy Torres, because I think he would like a couple of goals.
He could do with a few, couldn't he? That's Pat Nevin, former Chelsea and Everton player, watching this game with us here on 5 Live. Goodison Park, Everton 0, Manchester United 1, and we're not quite at the hour mark yet. We've played 57 minutes of this game. Fellaini has possession. The 1 goal in it, scored by Hernandez, set up by Evra. There was suspicion that Wayne Rooney might have fouled the defender in the build-up. This is Jagielka on the ball, just inside the Everton half. Everton playing right to left as we look down. The blue jerseys, white shorts, blue socks. Hibbert has it now on the right-hand side, gives it infield to Rodwell. Rooney comes across to close him down. Rodwell picks out Ross Barkley, who just manoeuvres around Wayne Rooney. Gets the head up, looking for options, the teenager. Best of them is to go short to Rodwell. Now to the near side to Leighton Baines. Rodwell's continue the run, and Nani's first touch is to intercept that pass from Baines. Give it infield to Rooney, and Nani's away on the right-hand side on a run. Cross comes Heitinga, intercepts for Everton, and gives it back to the goalkeeper Howard in his camouflage-coloured goalkeeping jersey away to our right-hand side. Now Rodwell drops 10 yards inside the half to pick up the ball, the Everton half. Now to Jagielka, to Fellaini. Back to Jagielka again. Everton step over the halfway line. Coleman is in front of Jagielka. He won't need him though. Gives it towards Osman on the edge of the penalty area. Now Hibbert's up joining the attack. The attempted cross is blocked by Welbeck, and now it's gone out of play off Jagielka. Throw into Manchester United, said the linesman. Don't think Jagielka's quite impressed with that. he thinks it touched a Manchester United player on the way out.
Yeah, I think he feels that Park got a little bit of a touch to it. But mentioning Ross Barkley, I mean, he's playing out on the left wing. No, he's not a left winger. 100% he's not a left winger, I can tell you that right now. But I think David Moyes has a fear if you play him in centre midfield where he would like to play. If he puts him in there, you know, he's not defensively minded, you know, and he might be caught in the ball and take chances in there. But when he goes slightly more towards the middle, when he gets the ball, he looks much more comfortable.
1-0 to Manchester United. We've got second half of Chelsea against Arsenal to come here on 5 Live, and later on Manchester City take on Wolves in our 3 p.m. kickoff. Tomorrow Leeds against Cardiff at lunchtime. We've got Tottenham against QPR, the 4 p.m. game, and earlier on in the morning the Indian Grand Prix live here on 5 Live. Monday night sees Stoke against Newcastle as the evening commentary, and then it's Champions League during the week. Villarreal against Manchester United on Wednesday. We've also got the Arsenal game against Marseille. Now this is Ross Barkley, centre circle for Everton, and he gives it to Fellaini on his right-hand side. And Everton have had a lot of possession in this second half.
But not in good areas, not with the areas where you actually want it. You want it in that last third. Barkley has been played very well just now by Manchester United. They actually see that young lad as a danger. So they're making sure when he gets the ball, he's kept out of dangerous areas. He has to learn how to get the ball in the last third, you know, with a chance to run at players.
Barkley's in possession. He was very much wide on the left wing when he first came on, but he's operating a more central role now. Jagielka gives it to Heitinga. Hernandez isn't making it easy for those two, trying to close them down. The Dutchman will skip forward, and Rooney makes the interception, and it's been put out of play. Good work rate by both teams today, really, but probably especially Manchester United's midfield have done a lot of closing down.
I think Sir Alex has just put that team out and said, right, OK, second half, get behind the ball, work, make sure your positions are all covered. Do not let anyone get any chances. We're not playing an open game like we did against Manchester City. It's up to Everton to have the quality to break us down. And so far, so good, because Everton have created very few chances in this second half, even though they've had the lion's share of the possession.
Here is Fellaini for Everton, midway inside the Manchester United half. Gives it back to Heitinga, and a ball down the left wing to Baines. Nani is covering him. Infield to Barkley, who again, it's a backward pass from Barkley to Heitinga. Long ball into the penalty area, headed away by Patrice Evra. And that's back for Everton and Coleman on the right-hand side. Everton 0, Manchester United 1. Hernandez goal earlier on 5 Live. Rodwell back to Jagielka, and as Pat says, Everton stringing all the passes together but in the central third. Bit of space for Barkley now, left-hand side. Rooney up ahead of him. Barkley drops the shoulder, runs into Wayne Rooney, and Barkley goes to ground, and the referee is happy with that. And Manchester United have stolen possession here. This is Hernandez, beautiful ball onto the chest of Welbeck, controls it well in the penalty area, left-footed shot saved by Howard. It was a lightning fast counter-attack by Manchester United, and Tim Howard's save puts it out for a corner.
And that's why David Moyes isn't starting Ross Barkley in centre midfield. He's lost the ball there. It was deeply lying midfielder. You do not lose the ball when you're the deepest lying midfielder against quality opposition, and that's what happened with Ross Barkley there. He has to be able to get that out of his game.
He went into a challenge with Rooney, which was sort of two barrel jets colliding with each other, and I don't think as a 17-year-old Wayne Rooney's the right guy to come up against if you're going to try
you're absolutely right, but he certainly has belief in himself, and I think that eventually he will have the ability to do that with absolutely anyone, but at the moment he has to learn a bit about the game.
Manchester United corner. Barkley is the player marking Wayne Rooney as Nani plays it short to Fletcher, back out to Nani. Left-hand side for Manchester United. There's a host of players in the middle, but the cross is too close to Howard, and the former Manchester United goalkeeper gathers the ball and holds it. So 1-0 to Manchester United here. What about Chelsea and Arsenal? Mike Ingham.
Well, it is 1-0 to Chelsea here. Arsenal are trying to play their way back into the game through their midfield players, Arteta and Ramsey, but the problem is they just look so vulnerable to the Chelsea attacks. The fullbacks, Giroud and Santos, really fully stretched by Sturridge and Ashley Cole. 1-0 to Chelsea.
Thanks very much, Mike. During the week, Manchester United's B team and youngsters impressed against Aldershot. I heard great things about this guy Berbatov. We don't see him in the first team, but apparently he's got a bit of talent, this kid. We'll get to see more of him.
Interesting to see who actually comes on. That's a very intriguing decision here, where he just brings Hernandez off and gets Berbatov to hold the ball and allow midfielders to go and support him.
Everton have possession for the moment. Berbatov waiting to make his introduction. Here's Saha. We've hardly mentioned Saha's name in this second half. There's a goal at Stamford Bridge. Mike Ingham.
It's 1-1. I said that Arsenal were getting the midfield players more involved, and Ramsey has just played the ball through to Gervinho, who went round check, and rather than finishing himself, because I think he would have scored, he saw Van Persie in an even better position, and it's another goal for Arsenal's captain. Van Persie has scored here, and it's 1-1.
And we'll have commentary of the second half with Mike and David Oates here on 5 Live. At the moment, if you want to stay tuned to that, go to our sister station, 5 Live Sports Extra. There's a goal at Aberdeen, the 12 noon kick-off. Here's Juliet Farrington.
And it's the Scottish champions who've got it, because Rangers have taken the lead here through Carl Lafferty. They've certainly been turning the screw second half and stamping a bit of authority, and that's paid off as Lafferty fires. Rangers in front, Aberdeen 0, Rangers 1.
Thanks very much, Juliet. Here at Goodison Park, Berbatov is still waiting for his introduction. The ball's not been out of play. Everton have it with goalkeeper Tim Howard away to our right-hand side.
A great defending game by Manchester United there. Every time they ever get the ball, they're getting pushed back. Somehow they have to break through that midfield or that defence. Here's an opportunity.
Barkley just outside the penalty area for Everton, and again he runs into an opponent and Park gets the better of him. Heitinga gets it back for Everton, gives it to Baines. Nice ball into Ross Barkley, and he needs strength, and he shows it here against Park, but then gives it away to Nani, and Rooney collects possession for Manchester United. Very deep lying role from Wayne Rooney in this game so far, and a good vision from Manchester United's number 10 to chip into space for Evra on the far side. Now forward to the long-legged Danny Welbeck, who does well to get there ahead of Jagielka. Welbeck turns back into space and doesn't have any obvious route to pass, so he'll feed it backwards, and it goes from Fletcher back into the centre circle towards Jones, and Manchester United will build from the back, and Berbatov's having a sit-down. He's waited long enough to come on, and he's just down on his hunches.
There was an opportunity to bring him on before, but they decided not to go for it. The ball hasn't been out of play for quite some time, and it doesn't get a great deal of time on the park as it is.
No. He's got to wait. Less. He's got to wait. Evra's off the field on the far side, by the way. He's picked up an injury. Manchester United playing on without their left back. I'm not sure the referee knows that Evra's off the pitch, you know.
Well, he's off the pitch. Well, he's off the pitch.
Yeah.
Play on.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
There's no reason why he stopped the game if it's off the pitch. It was a free kick. He's furious himself. He's laying down there expecting the referee, but I'm afraid, Patrice, if you're not on the field to play, you're not taking part in the game, even though you were fouled.
No,
he's right.
No, you're right. A yellow card.
I know. It is. No, you're right. It's a free kick, but he played on. He played the advantage. He'd rolled off the park. You still carry on.
Yeah.
You can't stop the game then. Nope. And, well, the referee knows the rules.
Wasn't disagreeing with that at all. Just pointing out that Coleman did pick up the yellow card.
Yeah, and rightly so.
Yeah.
And rightly so.
So the changes, Hernandez off and Berbatov on. 19 goals last season. Manchester United's top scorer, but finding it very hard to get a game this time round. Now I wonder, will Berbatov coming on mean that Rooney will be pushed a little bit further forward?
We'll should be interesting to see that. Welbeck, obviously, he could come in, but it doesn't look as if he's going to yet. But good start. Oh, that's a bit harsh on Berbatov.
Yeah, he's been pulled back for pulling a jersey. Let's go back to Stamford Bridge. Mike Ingham.
It's a very engrossing game, really opened up now. 1-1 here. Chelsea excitement a few moments ago, but a goal ruled offside. Ramirez thought he'd got it. Now Arsenal have got a free kick, and they're much more involved in this game now. Lots of misses too. 1-1. Gervinho, who missed a great chance, owed Arsenal the pass which led to Van Persie's equaliser. 1 each.
And 1-0 to Manchester United here at Goodison Park as the free kick from Heitinga is headed down by Johnny Evans, only as far as Barkley. Central location in front of the D. Gives it to the near side to Baines. Very high cross. Coleman wins a header. That's going to come down on the edge of the 6-yard box. Was there a push on Fellaini? Everton make a big shout. Play on, says the referee. Berbatov comes away with the ball. Rooney has it now. Works it up to the halfway line. And Coleman wins possession back again for Everton. We're midway through the second half here at Goodison Park, and it's time for me to hand to Alan Green.
There was never a foul on Fellaini. Here's Zaha to Rodwell. Rodwell's return pass was poor, and Manchester United have the ball again. Rooney to Park. I do wonder what was said to Berbatov in August that made him want to stay on at Old Trafford. It can't be you're going to play a lot of games, son. It can only be we're going to pay your wage. Don't worry, you'll still get your money.
It was a real surprise. He's on a lot of money just now, and may well be that who would have taken him at that point with the money that United wanted. So, and also professional footballers with any sort of decent attitude, you always feel you're good enough. You always get confidence in yourself. And he's never struck me as a player or an individual who's lacked belief in his own ability. But from the outside, I agree with you.
You would want to be sitting there gaining piles. So
yeah, no, but he would believe he was going to make himself, irresistible. He'd scored a lot of goals this season.
Here's Zaha into Coleman. Coleman's shot, woeful. Out for a throw-in. Not even a goal kick.
Yeah, it's zipped off the side of his foot. I think it's the time to look down and blame a bobble on that bowling green of a park out there.
If McFadden is fit enough to be on the bench, is he not fit enough for the last 20 minutes?
Well, if I was the manager, I'd be looking at his warm-up and thinking, does that player really want to go on? Is he zooming up and down and desperate?
Yeah.
And he's jogging at about 1 mile an hour at the moment. So, Faddy, make sure the manager knows you want to go, and this is important for you.
There's a foul on Ji-sung Park. Free kick to Manchester United, midway inside their own half. They still lead by a goal to nil, which was scored a long time ago, it seems. Hernandez in the 19th minute. Hernandez isn't on the pitch anymore, having been replaced by Berbatov. At the moment, they seem to have United be pushing the two wide players further forward. Welbeck on the left, Nani on the right.
Yes, almost a 4-3-3 in that sort of way.
Almost. And here's Berbatov. On to Nani, near side of the field. Rooney's running through the middle into the penalty area. Nani delivers the ball with his left foot straight into the hands of Howard. Howard throws it out to Fellaini, who's still not far enough forward for my liking.
That's the difference, though, when Manchester United break. In the first half it was Hernandez, up until recently it was Hernandez. Welbeck's a danger beyond, and certainly even Rooney will get beyond players. Everton haven't got anyone who's going to try and get beyond. No. That's the problem just now. So you get it in midfield, you break, you're not going to play it short to Zaha because it's just going to bounce off him, and there's nobody going in beyond, and it's very, very difficult to create anything in those circumstances.
Not the intended clearance by De Gea. He had it straight out of play for throw into Everton on the halfway line. We've got a fraction over 19 minutes to go. Manchester United still lead 1-0. Here's Zaha for Everton, former United player, of course, to Barkley. Well, if I sound exasperated, it was because Barkley's pass was poor.
Yeah, oddly, he's probably played his entire career, as a kid, moving through as a centre midfield player, right midfield player. He's stuck out in the left wing. He's got to learn that position, and he's stuck out there against top international players. And to be honest, I think he's trying too hard at the moment.
I think Sir Alex actually might make a change before David Moyes makes another one. Sir Alex certainly indicated maybe Valencia is going to come on. Anyway, Manchester United lead 1-0. A pushover by Heitinga on Park. Just a little nudge, but it was a foul and a free kick.
I wouldn't be surprised if Welbeck comes off because he's had limited impact in the game in this second half. And if you want to get someone out, if you're going to play 4-3-3, you might as well make that guy out on the left-hand side a winger who's going to get by his defender. I thought they would play two wingers at some point, as I mentioned earlier before, but it's taken them a while.
Fletcher takes the free kick to Rooney. Now Evra, Park, into Fletcher, almost on the centre spot, back to Evans. Apart from those chances late in the first half, though, it's been a bit of a stroll for United. They haven't looked troubled.
Yeah, I would agree they're not at 100%, and I think it's because they don't have to be. It's a kind of professional, organised, structured, we're not going to be silly kind of attitude, and it's United have been much more positive at various times this season, but not today. Taking it easy.
Here is Valencia. There's another goal. Valencia's coming on for Welbeck. Here's Mike Ingham though at Stamford Bridge.
It's almost half-time. It's 2-1 to Chelsea, and you've got one guess as to who scored the goal. Yeah, you got it. John Terry has scored for Chelsea from a corner kick. Almost half-time. He's just bundled in the corner in the near post. Can't keep him out of the headlines. 2-1 Chelsea.
Nothing's plaguing his mind, of course.
It's the one place you can usually get away from whatever your troubles are, and he's had enough different troubles over the last few years, but you go in there and it's like I'm sure Fellaini was going to get that ball, just nudged neatly off it by Johnny Evans.
Yes, and ignored by the referee Mark Halsey. There were
only
running cheers
only because it was in the box.
Yeah, there were running cheers for the referee a moment ago when Everton got a free kick. But I had this discussion with Craig Burley the other night. Stoke Liverpool about fouls by defenders in their own penalty area, and so rarely are drawn to attention by referees.
Seen that same situation there. Just change the two players around, and it's the forward that nudged the defender there. Is the free kick given?
Yes.
Every time.
Here's Osman for Everton. Perhaps they're a tad fortunate that they're still only 1-0 down. 16 minutes to go here at Goodison in the early kick-off here on 5 Live. Second half commentary to come from Stamford Bridge. Chelsea leading Arsenal by 2-1. Approaching half-time there. A very eventful first half in the London derby. There's a throw-in the near side of the field, which United thought should have gone their way, but it's gone Everton's way. Baines is going to take it. Fellaini 20 yards behind Baines as the throw goes his way. Now it's back on the halfway line with Heitinga. But Manchester United at the moment have got all of their players back in their own half defending. Long range shot from Jagier. Why did you do that, Phil? It was high and over the crossbar, and really you wouldn't beat a junior goalkeeper from 40 yards. It's goal kick to Manchester United. Half-time at Stamford Bridge. Mike.
It is 2-1 to Chelsea. Inevitable goal from John Terry on half-time. Earlier, Frank Lampard headed Chelsea into the lead. An equaliser from the Arsenal captain, Van Persie, sets up a great second half. 2-1 Chelsea.
And, of course, as we've been telling you, there'll be second half commentary on 5 Live from Stamford Bridge. And, by the way, the commentary on Tuesday night in the Champions League will be Arsenal against Marseille. Mike and I will be at the Emirates. Here's Valencia from Manchester United, just gets past Baines. Valencia to the right of the penalty area. Deliberately pulled that ball back, but it was intercepted by Jagielka. Cleared temporarily by Everton. Fletcher for the champions. To Rooney, who largely has played in central midfield today. On now to Nani, who when he came on started on the right side, now he's on the left side. He's exchanged passes with Evra. Evra's still going forward. Nani can't pick him out, and it's out to play for a throw-in.
Yeah,
and there will be another change.
Mm-hmm. I think Everton have to try things now.
Bellios is coming on, presumably for Zaha, who's been utterly useless. A goal at Pataudry. Juliet.
Yep, Rangers increasing their lead 2-0 now here at Aberdeen. A Jelavic penalty, looks to have wrapped this one up. Papac was brought down, Jelavic scores, Aberdeen 0, Rangers 2.
And as brilliantly predicted by me, I'm completely wrong. It's not Bellios for Zaha, it's Bellios for Osman.
I'm not surprised. I agree with you. I don't think Zaha played well at all. Really has been second best all the way through this. But
he's not a lone striker, to be fair. Yeah. He does need support, and he's got that from Bellios.
Exactly. It's exactly what David Moyes is thinking.
14 minutes to go. Everton 0, Manchester United 1. You're listening to 5 Live in the BBC. Don't forget that at 3 o'clock our commentary will feature the current leaders of the Barclays Premier League, Manchester City, at home to Wolves. Fellaini plays the ball down the right side. It hit Coleman, goes out of play, and Coleman's furious at the Belgian for some reason. Frank exchange of views there.
It wasn't a very good ball. He just fired at him. There's no place to... You have to have some pass consideration when you make a pass.
Berbatov can't get the pass through to Nani. It's passed back by Jagielka to his goalkeeper Hard, who screws his clearance straight out of play above the head of David Moyes. It's going to be a throw into Manchester United on the near side of the field. Some of the football actually has been pretty boring.
I think it's just a good, structured, organised defensive display by Manchester United. And, if I could have put money in anything, there's a tackle by Fellaini.
Yeah, and then Fellaini... No, Jones was aggressive in his challenge, fair but aggressive. And then Fellaini, I thought, just left his boot in.
Oddly enough, I think Jones went to almost go and roll about a little bit.
Yes.
And the assistant manager, Manchester United, said, get up.
Yeah, Mike Phelan, well done. Heitinga heads the ball clear to Baines. 12.5 minutes to go at Goodison. 1-0 to Manchester United. Looked like a foul on Fellaini, but it doesn't matter because Baines picks it up. Good ball infield to Zaha. Zaha's shot awful. Well wide.
Yeah, he's had one of those games. A couple of chances before half-time. Half chances, I would say, but he got them on target with a little bit of power, but directly at the goalkeeper, De Gea. He's not really... Well, he's made him work, but only a very little work. And on that occasion, on his left foot, completely screwed it wide, and he's not having the best of afternoons at the moment, Louis Zaha. But I'll give him one thing. He's not stopped trying. He's running, he's putting himself... Well, not exactly about. He's not holding up well enough, and that's what's frustrating David Moyes, because he knows what he needs there. He just doesn't have it available to him.
If Everton need reason to hope, they'll remember the game between the two last season. I was here, United strolling into stoppage time, leading by 3-1. 3-3 the final score.
Well, what they usually do is I remember us having a conversation then that they usually do have a rousing last 5 or 10 minutes. The ball's lumped into the box from just about everywhere. So that's still to come.
Hibbert to Coleman, just to the right of the United penalty area. Coleman rolls the ball under his right foot, but can't beat Valencia. It's cleared. Up now to Berbatov. Berbatov now over the halfway line. Park to his left. And Berbatov's pass wasn't good. And it's easily knocked back by Jagielka, the acting captain for Everton today. The goalkeeper hard out to Heitinga. 11 minutes left for play. Heitinga just short of the centre circle. He's got Hibbert available on the far side, relatively unmarked, and he flicks the ball to the right fullback. Hibbert on to Coleman. Coleman, one of 2 Everton players booked today. The other one was Rodwell. Both justified yellow cards in my view. Now Heitinga again. Heitinga to Barkley, who's been very quiet over the last few minutes. Barkley floats the cross in, headed away by Evans. Oh dear.
I think he's fine. The referee's got that one right from
Coleman and Nani collided. Didn't look good. Everton get the ball into the penalty area, the United penalty area, headed behind by Vidic. Corner.
Let's give it the start of it. Everton getting the balls into the box. They have to be aware of the breakaways because Manchester United are very good in these situations. But now Everton have to get some crosses into the box. They've got some good players in the air, specifically Fellaini, but the quality of the cross has to be good. Certainly in the first half it wasn't from Baines.
Baines from the right, hits it left, footed the corner. Fellaini jumps. Here's Saha. Saha's shot blocked. Saha still has an opportunity. Shoots again. Doesn't leave round to an Everton player initially. Now Rodwell shoots over the crossbar.
No need to shoot there, Rodwell, but it just isn't falling for Everton, and the reason for it is good defending. Fabulous defending from Manchester United. There was a red wall in front of that ball there. And I think those players understand that if they walk in today having given 2 points away, Sir Alex Ferguson will be waiting for them. They are putting their bodies on the line. Very impressive defending in their own 6-yard line from United.
By the way, the reason I winced with the Coleman challenge earlier, it wasn't that I thought it was a foul challenge, Pat. I just thought that the United player had been hurt.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It looked that way because he got himself off balance there, and it was a real thump. But I don't think, I agree with you, it wasn't a foul. It was just a coming together.
Here's Saha, taps it through the legs of Jones. Saha, left side for Everton. Groans of frustration from me because the pass to Barkley was poor and it's straight out of play for a throw into Manchester United.
I'm not going to say anything more about Lewis Saha because it's going to sound personal, but he'll not write this down in his favourite games he's ever played unless he scores near the end.
Rodwell in now to Velios. Velios back to Fellaini. Fellaini to the far side and Hibbert. Encouragement for Everton as the cross is played in from Coleman.
He's done it again.
A little nudge in the penalty area. I thought by Jones, was it?
You're right, absolutely.
On Fellaini, ignored by the referee.
He's never allowed to get a header on the ball. The ball's coming in there. He's just about to jump. He's just taken out of the play. Now, Vidic is fantastic at that, and the other Manchester United defenders are learning off of him. But that's twice in a row there. Vidic goes to head the ball, nudged off it. Anywhere else in this football pitch, that's a free kick.
De Gea with a goal kick for Manchester United. And we've got 8 minutes left for play at Goodison Park. Everton 0, Manchester United 1. Referee judges a foot to be high. Free kick to Everton. Heitinga takes it quickly to Jagielka. And United just allowing themselves to be pressed back. However confident they are in their defensive ability, it's only 1-0. Fellaini on the halfway line to Heitinga under pressure from Berbatov. That sounded an odd thing to say, but he was actually putting him under pressure. And then it's won back by Valencia. Berbatov on the touchline, doesn't control the ball. It's out of play for a throw into Everton. Thrown to Heitinga, back to Jagielka, and on now to Rodwell. Rodwell beyond the halfway line to Hibbert on the far side of the field. And they are being gradually pushed back here, the champions. Jagielka on to Velios in the penalty area. Back to Coleman. Coleman shot straight into Hair, easily saved.
Once again, on target, but not enough power. And it's a real shame for Everton because when they have had shots, they've generally been from 20-odd yards out, and Manchester United would trust their goalkeeper now that he could deal with most of them. Whatever, needing one of those is a little deflection.
A reminder that the half-time score at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 2, Arsenal 1. Second half commentary to come here at 5 Live. Valencia crosses from the right, but it hit Baines, and then, put out a play by Barkley. I think he anticipated a run forward from Baines. It's a throw into Manchester United instead.
I'm looking forward to the pronunciation here, Alan.
I don't know.
Guy.
It's Guy, isn't it?
Yeah,
Guy. I think he's known as Gay, actually. And he's
doing my best for him.
But unfortunately, his quote surname isn't on the back of his shirt. That's why there's slight confusion.
Yeah. Well,
it is Gay who's on.
The Gay.
Gay, spelt Gueye, but we have checked. Throwing near side to Manchester United. Saha no more. Here is Gay. Gay's first contribution is to give the ball away, though Vidic doesn't control it, and it's out for a throw-in to Everton. 6 minutes left for play.
He's certainly a much more attacking player, and he's gone up front. So Everton have got plenty of tackles on the pitch now. Gay's gone over to the left-hand side here.
He's won another throw-in, a little bit further upfield, deeper into the Manchester United half. Everton left flank. Baines throws it back to Barkley. Barkley still generally hugging the left side, though he's moving now into a central midfield position. And the ball's going towards the Everton right, towards Hibbert on the far side. Back to the acting skipper, Jagielka. Jagielka knocks it forward. Velios, back to Coleman. Coleman shot deflected, bounces in front of the goalkeeper, who then catches the ball with both hands.
But that's 3 or 4 times now. The ball's gone up to Velios, and it's actually stuck. He's held it and laid it back to a player coming on, and that's led to a couple of shots on target from Everton. That didn't happen when Saha was on the field, and I think Velios can understandably be a bit disappointed that he didn't get a little bit longer in this game.
Less than 5 minutes to go here on 5 Live. Everton 0, Manchester United 1. At the moment, Manchester United seem content in their knowledge that they're going to hold Everton out. But it's dangerous.
It is dangerous. It just needs one opportunity, but I don't think Everton really have had a clear opportunity in this game so far.
Heidinger crosses deep, looking for Fellaini. The flag is up for offside against the Belgian, which was pretty inexcusable considering he was wide and could look along the line.
Yeah, was watching the ball, but you're right, he shouldn't be offside there. He's not complaining about it, so I think he believes he was offside as well.
He's terrific in the air. I'm surprised he wasn't pushed further forward earlier.
They often do this, or Everton do this with him, but because everybody knows that no one, I don't think there's anyone in the Premier League can beat him in the air when he gets a clear jump at it, so no one gives him a clear jump now, but I don't think he gets a lot of protection from the referees because, and then he gets frustrated and he starts throwing a few tackles in.
Here's the ex-Evertonian on the far side, Rooney. Lovely touch infield to Nani. Back now to Evra. On to Rooney again. Rooney to Evra once more. Evra approaching the Everton penalty area. Slipped the ball to where he thought Berbatov was going to run. Berbatov didn't run there. And it's cleared out of play by Everton.
Just a lack of quality, really, as you said earlier on when the last quarter of the game there. And it's Everton haven't got anyone who seemed to be able to, open up a defence. You're talking of Silva, you're talking, the players that have got a little bit of vision. It just isn't there in the middle of the Everton team. I suppose they lost Arteta, they lost Pinar, and that's the sort of player that maybe would have been able to do it for them.
Free kick awarded for a foul on Nani. Rooney standing over the ball. Berbatov's the only United player inside the penalty area. It's tapped to the left to Nani. Nani approaching the penalty area, faced by Hibbert. Nani gets beyond Hibbert, but the cross is deflected and should be cleared by Velios. Back to Hibbert, and Hibbert wafts the ball up toward the halfway line, towards Gay. Gay heads it in field, but Vidic was waiting there and snaps it upfield again. Nani chases after it. Will he keep it in play successfully? Oh, well, the assistant went back. I'm sure he was trying to raise his flag, but before he could raise his flag, he slipped on his backside, and he may have hurt himself, actually.
Yeah, I think he's strained something.
Yes, he has. So it's not funny, and we won't laugh. Not for at least a couple of minutes.
There was a level of humour, let's be fair. There was a level of humour about it, but
he was actually struggling to get back to see if Nani had actually kept the ball in play. And
I think that's a groin strain.
I think
fairly decent chance it's a groin strain.
I think he may not be contributing anymore. Another goal at Aberdeen. Julia.
And a frantic end to this one, Alan, because Aberdeen have got themselves back into it. 2-1 Rangers lead, but Aberdeen getting a goal back through Richard Foster and a curling strike from distance. Aberdeen 1, Rangers 2.
Right, so is the assistant going to be able to continue?
Yeah, maybe he's back. He may have done his back. It's very different. Yeah, he's getting a little
it's not
bit
funny.
of
He's going to get a spray on his back, and he's being taunted, which is not fair. Ain't his fault. He was just struggling to run back in time to see if Nani had actually kept the ball in play. I think he had judged that he hadn't, and in the act of trying to put his flag up and running back, he slipped.
Yep, wearing blades, obviously. Wearing studs.
Yeah, well, we keep on telling
possibly.
about that. So there will be time added on for injury to the assistant, which Everton will welcome.
They will do.
They'll need it. Remember, they're a goal down. We're inside the final minute of the 90. Coming up shortly, second half commentary from Stamford Bridge. David Oates and Mike Ingham. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 1.
The temptation
Is
must
he
be
all right?
Well, the temptation must be just to ask the fourth official to run the line and ask him to swap
It's
with the fourth
Phil
official.
Dowd is the fourth official, and yes, I think he's going to have to.
Yeah. No reason why
you
not.
can't. I mean, if you hurt your back, you can't run up and down and keep up with play. So Phil Dowd will do the duties for the remaining few minutes of added time. Now he's going to have to stand on the sideline now, isn't he? The fourth official, the new fourth official, so to speak.
Maybe get him a wee chair.
Well, is he disappearing? He can't disappear. His first duty is going to be to hold up the board to tell us how much added time
with his sore back
we're going to have. Think of a figure, make it up, add on 1 or 2 minutes, at least 4, surely now.
I'm sure he'll be okay.
It's 6 minutes. It's Fergie time. 6 minutes. Well, that will help Everton. Everton 0, Manchester United 1. Coleman to Hibbert down the right side. Hibbert back to Coleman. No room to get the cross in. Oh, he did really well, Coleman. Gets a return ball from Hibbert. Did it take a deflection? It did, and it's going to be a corner to Everton.
Yeah, this last 5 minutes or so, 5-6 minutes that you always expect from Everton when they need to do something special. They're going towards their favourite part of the ground, and they have to put a little bit of pressure on. Let's see if there's any pushing and tugging in the box. Vidic against Fellaini.
Right, Baines isn't taking this corner from the Everton right. It's Gay who'll take it in, played in towards the near post. It wasn't a well-hit corner, but he's going to get a second opportunity as the ball deflected back to him, and he still can't get the cross in with this time. Blocked by Valencia, out for a throw into Everton.
A real shame for Everton. They had everyone up there. You need to get good quality in at some point.
Now it's snapped in by Coleman, and it's headed down, almost fell to Heidinga. Heidinga crosses again, deep toward the far post. Everton player goes down. Gay, he's looking for a penalty kick. Referee ignores it.
He's never going to give that in a million years. And he slipped over. And it's a tough one to call him, and he was going in at some pace, but you can usually tell by the reaction of the players. No complaints whatsoever from any of the players. So if there was a push,
it was a valiant.
Actually, you know what? They came shoulder to shoulder, and the attacker went down very, very easily. I think he was slipping anyway.
I think it was a valiant, dramatic fall by Gay.
I don't think he was acting it already. I don't think he was trying for a penalty kick, but little nudge, slipped, gone, no penalty.
Right, we've still got 4 minutes of added time to play through here. Heidinga with a free kick for Everton, driven towards Fellaini, headed away though by Vidic. Ran to Jagielka, cushioned header by Jagielka to his left. Heidinga just over the halfway line, in towards Rodwell. Should have been intercepted by Rooney arguably. Coleman to the far side and Hibbert. No time to delay that cross into the penalty area. Hibbert doesn't want to cross with his left foot. Gives it back to Barkley. We haven't seen much of the 17-year-old, and that was poor from him, giving the ball away. And here's an opportunity for Manchester United to counter-attack and maybe score the second goal to make sure of all 3 points. Valencia in towards Rooney. It took a deflection, the pass, and Rooney actually may have hurt himself. He was hurt in the challenge by Fellaini. So that all came from Valencia's careless pass, and Rooney is hurting. Or is it just cramp?
It's cramp.
It's just cramp.
That's so
he's hurting
unusual.
anyway. And not,
that's so unusual to see that.
Goal at Chelsea, David Oates.
An equaliser for Arsenal, second equaliser of the game, and it was the young left-back Andre Santos with a very powerful low shot with his left foot that went through Petr Cech's legs, and that goal was coming because Van Persie and Ramsey have both come close in this second period. And David Pleat, what a start to the second half from Arsenal.
Absolutely, a beautiful pass bisected Basinga and the right-hand side, and it was through Petr Cech's legs, but it was an excellent, ambitious run by Santos which enabled him to get into that position in the 18-yard box. He took it on, it was a firm shot. Arsenal back in it.
We've had 49 minutes. They've been action-packed. It's two apiece. Come on, hurry up, Greenie.
We've still got on the clock another 2 minutes of added time, but the last minute has been taken up for the treatment of Rooney. So I reckon we've got another 3 minutes of added time in total here. It's still 1-0 to the champions Manchester United. Should it stay that way, I think that's a highly satisfactory response to what happened last Sunday.
Yeah, and I think a highly satisfactory display. I think Alex Ferguson, look at that defence. The fact they've not had a lot of the ball, but there's so few opportunities that Everton have been able to create.
Here's Gay down the left side being hustled by Valencia. Jones was fouled by Fellaini. He's going to be booked. And he walks away in disgust, but it's a valid yellow card.
Did I mention about his frustration about 5 minutes ago?
Yes, you did.
It often happens. It's very, very regular, and it's partially because the team's losing, but it's also because he knows where his strengths are. And the player that he's just done there has nudged him off the ball quite a few times, but he's just he knows that frustration has been building up for about 45 minutes, and he's released it there.
I reckon at least 2 minutes of added time remaining. Oh, that free kick was poorly hit by Fletcher. Ball forward to Fellaini. Fellaini underhits the pass to Rodwell, though. Intercepted by Park from Manchester United. Evans on to Nani. Park to Nani. Good work from the champions. Nani 20 yards over the halfway line now. And then I think that was deliberately played off Barkley, but Barkley might keep it in play down the far side. Not conceding a throw-in. The 17-year-old did really well. Hibbert didn't help. Hibbert puts it out for a throw-in.
Do it's very interesting if you look down at David Moyes all the way through this. There hasn't been any ranting and raving and shouting and bawling. It's almost as if I've tried everything.
An acceptance of his lot.
Exactly.
Which is unfortunately not clever at the moment for David Moyes or for Everton. United took a while to take the throw-in, but they've taken it now, and then Nani might win a free kick. No, he's got a throw-in. And we've played nearly 6 minutes of added time. That was the original time allocated. Then we had the injury to Rooney. I say the injury to Rooney, the cramp for Rooney. Nani's off the pitch, unwilling to take the throw, and he's trying to waste some time. That's all he's doing. And the referee's telling him to get on with it. So the 6 minutes of allocated added time is now up. The throw-in's been taken. Nani flicks the ball into the air, but it's cleared by Everton. One last chance for the home team. Up it goes towards Velios, who seemed to jump into the body of Vidic. Evans cleared. The assistant flags. It's a free kick for a foul on Velios. Definitely the last chance for Everton.
And this is an opportunity to get the ball into the box. A little bit of pressure in De Gea here, because the ball is going to be put in from a more direct angle from about 50 yards out.
We'll be going to Stamford Bridge very sharply at the end of this game. It's 2-2 there, Chelsea and Arsenal. Here at Goodison, it's 1-0 to Manchester United. Jagielka takes the free kick for Everton into the United penalty, headed away by Berbatov. Barkley can't collect it. Baines heads it on, but it's not running to Fellaini. And then Fellaini might win it back off Valencia. Valencia's definitely under pressure, loses the ball, careless. Velios shoots from long range towards the near post, easily caught by De Gea.
Yeah, and all the opportunities that Everton have had, they've been from outside the box, they've been hit on target, but they've never really tested De Gea.
De Gea clears, but there's the final whistle and the final thought.
And it's exactly the score that was deserved today, and I think we're a very, very happy Manchester United manager, and he can go forward from now, getting 3 points that were worrying before today, but they were never in doubt.
1-0 to Manchester United. Here at Stamford Bridge, it's David Oates.